This week, where we're going, we don't need eyes to see, as we discuss the 1997 sci-fi horror Event Horizon. Hello and welcome to the Bloody Bits Horror Show. I'm your host, Eddie, the Axe Jefferson, and joining me as always is the guy who wants to know more about the women on Mars, Tim Yobo. How are you doing today, good sir?
Are they hot or are they like those ghosts from Mars?
Are they Martians? What's the story? Nobody's going to tell us, I guess. That's just one of those mysteries. But Tim, we are not alone. We are joined once again, as always, by the co-host and the woman who somehow loves this movie but hates The Shining. It's Candice.
Yeah,
Wait, what?
That's another reference that I was like writing down all the movies that it reminds me of and video games that it reminds me of, and The Shining was in there. Yep.
Oh yeah.
You hate The Shining?
Yeah, I don't like The Shining. I think it's boring.
Candice.
This is well established. But I do like Stanley Kubrick. I just don't like The Shining.
What's your favorite Kubrick movie?
Clockwork Orange.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Nice. Have you ever seen Barry Lyndon?
No, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen all of his movies.
Ooh. Now, there's a true test if you're a Kubrick fan or not. Watch Barry Lyndon, because I think it's like 4.5 hours, the movie cut. And, oh, yeah, no, it's a great movie with Ryan O'Neal, believe it or not. And I think besides being Kubrick, I think the other thing with that movie was they all used all the costumes like real from the actual time. Like they took these out of fucking museums or some shit like that. But incredible fucking movie. But it's going to test your limits on being a Kubrick fan.
Well, I mean, I'm sure I'll get to it eventually.
Yeah, that.
What do you mean eventually? The guy's been fucking dead for 25 years and you haven't watched the movie yet. I'm going to get to it eventually.
I still got 25 good years left in me, so we'll see.
Plus, she's going to catch Eyes Wide Shut first, so, you know.
That and what's the fucking war movie that he did?
Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah.
I have seen that.
Least favorite Kubrick movie. I don't know why he changed the ending to Full Metal Jacket from the book, but...
I didn't even know it was a book.
Short Time is by some guy named Gustav something, who was actually there. Yeah.
I'll be damned.
Oh, how about that? Speaking of being damned, we're going to talk about Event Horizon here in just a minute. But before we get to that, it's everybody's favorite segment. Candice, what have you been consuming this week?
What have I not been consuming? But I had to narrow it down to two things that I wanted to talk about. Okay, number one is The Gray Man with Ryan Baby Goose and Chris Evans.
Baby Goose? What?
Ryan Gosling.
Oh.
I call him Baby Goose.
Oh, God.
Oh, geez. Are you on that close of terms with him? What?
Yeah, we're buds. I'm like, Baby Goose, what's up?
Can everybody, whoever listens to this show, please tweet at Ryan Gosling, hey, Baby Goose.
He should have played Goose's kid in the new Top Gun.
I still haven't seen that because someone won't put it on the blood bank.
Yeah, because fuck that movie.
No, Eddie, look. I didn't like the first one. This is it's a decent movie. I have plenty of problems with it. But just to see the live action shit, you got to give it up to Tom Cruise, no matter what you think about his crazy ass religion. He's stomping on couches. The motherfucker knows how to do action.
Yeah. I mean, the first one sucked. I mean, it did have its good parts, like the volleyball scene.
Oh, wait until you see the new volleyball scene that they have. That makes zero sense, except here we're going to show some guys. But that's okay. You know what?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Anyway, The Gray Man is an action movie. And it is, I was pretty fucking high when I watched it. I was pretty high.
Netflix, yeah.
Okay.
And the fucking action scenes, they just kept one-upping itself during the course of this one scene. To the point where I'm just like on my couch, my mind blown, and I'm like, what the fuck is going to happen next? How do they go from here? And it does, and it just keeps one-upping itself through the entire movie. Like, it's fun, and it's snarky. It's got that snarky sense of humor that I like.
Mm-hmm. I think there's supposed to be a sequel. Didn't the Russo brothers produce that or something?
They did, yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Yeah, okay. So you're getting something decent.
Yep.
Besides 28 Bridges.
It was really
that shit was.
It was really fun. Like, the trailer does not get across. It looks more serious than the movie actually is. It's a movie that was like, we're just here to have a good time with some great actors, and it was fun.
What? I was just thinking, shouldn't he be Baby Driver's daddy?
Daddy Driver?
I don't know. I'm a daddy driver.
Hey-o. You're more of a mini driver.
Oh, thank God his name isn't Cooper.
Oh, man. But the second thing I want to talk about was my new video game, Mario and Rabbids Spark of Hope. It is very fun. Do you ever play the Mario and Rabbids game? Yes.
At least said Mario. Okay. So I was like, what kind of weird accent does she say Mario?
No, what is that? I saw a video clip of the new one. It was like another style of game.
It's like baby's first tactics game. It's like XCOM Lite.
Wow, where, XCOM. Oh my God.
This is like a much more simpler form of it. It's much more forgiving.
Okay.
Like, save scumming is automatic. Yeah. And I'm like, this is very much for me. Plus, I just love Mario. And the Rabbids are pretty fun. But the game itself is... I love the first one. I bought it on a whim because I was like, it's on sale. If I don't like it, I'm not out of a lot of money. Ended up devouring that game. So, of course, I got the new one, which, sadly enough, has not sold well. So they're probably not going to make a third one. But it's a lot of fun. Like, the first one's pretty simplified, and this one, they add more mechanics, there's more exploration. It's great. I recommend it for everybody. If you're like, oh, I don't know if I like tactics games, you'll like this game.
Oh my, XCOM is one of my all-time fucking favorite games. I love that fucking... I remember playing that, I think, on the Sega Saturn all the way going back. And I put an R into Sega when I said that.
Sega Saturn.
In the UK, they call the Genesis the Jenny. That's fun.
Okay.
We go play on the Jenny. I'm like, whoa. Who's Jenny? A new friend of yours? What are you doing?
No, the generator.
Okay, so Gray Man and the Mario Rabbids game.
Spark of Hope.
Spark of Hope. All right, Tim, what about you, friend? What have you been consuming?
I saw Cocaine Bear in the movie theater.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's my first movie since Barbarian, so...
Wow. Okay. So what'd you think?
I completely loved it. There was a couple of times when the movie I was like, wait a second, is this going to get stupid? And like, no, they just skirted that perfect line. And for real, there's some serious ass fucking gore in this movie.
Oh yeah.
And I think with the trailer only goes up to like maybe what happens in like the first maybe 20, 30 minutes in the movie. And then after that, it's completely new stuff that you haven't seen in the trailer. So I was pleased with that. Mm-hmm. But look, some people are going to watch it and they're going to think it's stupid. But for me, it just rode that line perfectly between being crazy and just funny. And like the scene where the fucking bear snorts a fucking line off a guy's fucking leg.
Pretty good,
yeah. And I will say this, you know what? Here's what's really fucked up is there was a couple points in this movie where I kind of like choked up a little bit. And yeah, that's right, motherfuckers. In Cocaine Bear, you're going to choke up. Candice, when you take your kids to see this movie, number one, they better be fucking quiet.
Oh, they're very good.
Okay. And number two, one of them is going to cry. Guarantee you.
Yeah, I don't know if I will end up seeing it. It's going to be your husband. I don't know if I will end up seeing it because I thought it'd be cool if my son's first R-rated movie in theaters was Cocaine Bear. But then I was like, oh, getting 4 people to go to a movie theater is fucking expensive. And Mario movie's coming out in the beginning of April. So I'm like, I might have to.
Mario. Chris Pratt. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think I made that decision. I do not think I will be seeing Cocaine Bear in theaters.
So, Tim, did you feel like Cocaine Bear was a fitting end to Ray Liotta's career?
Yes, you know what? It was because Because there's some parts where he's like, wow, this is the guy out of Goodfellas like 20 years later. What he's doing because he's tired of getting that fucking spaghetti with ketchup.
Yeah. It was such a good role for him, dude. Like, oh my God.
He's really good in it. Everybody's good. Hats off to Elizabeth Banks because I think she directed. This might be the first thing that she directed.
Really? Elizabeth Banks directed Cocaine Bear?
Yes, ma'am.
Holy shit. I love Elizabeth Banks.
Fucking incredible. The pacing, everything on this movie fucking flowed. It went by nice and quick. Mm-hmm. There's some real tense scenes in the thing. Because like I said, it goes back and forth between comedy and like really like a fucking horror movie. Because you're getting a fucking bear high on cocaine attacking people and killing them.
Love it. And
I got my money's worth.
We are in a golden age of horror. Because my husband was like, I can't believe this movie's actually in theaters. I was like, yes, and it's been successful, and that's great because that means there will be more.
Yeah, not only is it in theater.
I'm sorry, Eddie. Wasn't there a movie earlier in the year? Was it this movie where like people were talking about it and like they were showing little clippets of it? Like, I'm like, there's no way they're making this into it. This can't be a real fucking movie, right?
This was one that at first it was kind of like, nah, this is going to be maybe a direct-to-shutter or whatever.
Yeah,
but, dude, it's already cleared $21 million its opening week.
Good. I'm happy. Right. Yes.
Me too.
I've always liked Elizabeth Banks. I remember the first thing I ever saw her on was Law & Order SVU, where she ended up having to play, unfortunately,
a rape victim.
Was forcing to make it. No. She was forcing. No, here's what's funny, Candice, is her husband was the rape victim.
Oh my God!
Wow.
But he couldn't admit it because he also does gay gangbang videos. He's gay for pay, according to the show. Huh. And he couldn't admit that because if his religious parents found out about it, they would use that to take their baby away. And it also ended up at the end, Elizabeth Banks was doing porn too, and she brought the baby to the set.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like it knew what it was looking at.
I mean, I've heard of like take your kid to work day, but man.
That's such a great scene because they bust into the thing. Elizabeth Banks, I think she's done up like a housewife, and there's like 6 guys standing around. And the cops bust in, and all of a sudden, this 6-year-old girl comes running onto set, and this other porn actor's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, she jumped out of the room."
Jesus, somebody's got to. We have to stop SVU. We just need.
It's the greatest show ever made.
Oh my God. Yeah. I also saw Cocaine Bear. Fantastic. The whole gazebo scene. That was fun as hell.
Oh yeah. There's so many good people in this movie.
Yeah, fantastic.
Eddie, let me ask you a question. You saw the movie there. What was the promo that you saw right before the movie started? Because I saw a promo that looked like it was specifically made to be shown before Cocaine Bear.
There were a few of them. I'm trying to remember. Which one are you speaking of?
It's a stand-up comedian guy. I think his name is Bert, who his whole thing is he's got a big beer belly.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't.
And he does the fucking skit with his shirt off.
Yeah, no, I didn't. That wasn't at my.
The Machine. The trailer that I saw was The Machine, because I think he tells a story where goes like when he was young, he goes to Russia, and the only thing that he knows how to say in Russian is "I'm the machine." And somehow or another, I don't know if this is real or this is comedy skit, he gets involved with like the Russian mafia with killing people and fucking dealing cocaine.
Huh.
Luke Skywalker is his father. Mark Hamill is supposed to be his father in the movie.
Huh. Well, how about that?
Look it up.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of trailers, did you guys see the trailer for the making of Tetris?
No. Yes.
Yeah, it looks wild, doesn't it?
It is.
Come on, for real.
Tim, the story behind Tetris is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, so you're talking about like the people who made the game, not a movie based on the game of Tetris.
Yeah, it was basically like made.
All right, because I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Tim, it was made by this Russian guy back in the early 90s.
I know the story, yes. Okay, some dude had to go over there during the Cold War and try to get the rights for it and all that shit.
It was fucking crazy. Yeah, no, that'll be interesting. No, the trailers I saw there, I saw the new Scream movie trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't care about Scream movies anymore.
I never did, but I do now.
You know what? I'm looking at these as like a completely new series of movies.
Okay. I'm like the exact opposite of you, Eddie. I did not like them up until the fourth one, and that's when I started liking them.
What?
Yep.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, Candice, you don't like the fucking Godfather? You don't like The Shining? Oh, I like Scream 4.
Remember, she doesn't like peanut butter also, Tim. So there's a lot going on here.
Nope.
You don't like a Reese's peanut butter cup?
Hate it. I can't even smell peanut butter. It makes me nauseous.
No, Tim, what happened is that somebody randomly just took a pillowcase full of really good VHS movies and beat her with it when she was a kid.
All I saw was the titles over my broken face.
Just be glad Titanic wasn't in that pillowcase, man. One of those big doubles. Oof.
Ugh.
Rough. So no, I saw, though, this week I watched All Eyes, which, yeah, by your silence, you also have never heard of this.
I've heard. I think the title sounds familiar. Why am I thinking that's some kind of musical or something like that?
Came out last year. It's not a musical. It's about a guy who runs like a spooky podcast and talks to people who, have encountered aliens or supernatural shit, right? So this guy that runs this podcast, he's doing it under a network like an NPR kind of thing, And the first episode of it you're watching him record is he's talking to this guy who's a repeat guest on there. It's almost like a coast to coast show, right? So
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So he's talking to this kind of kooky guy, and the guy called in before because there's some shadow figure following him, right? So he's telling him all about it, and he sent him a picture, and the picture looks like there's just a really badly photoshopped like shadow figure behind him. So he calls him up. He's like, yeah, just, a quick follow up on that. I caught it. I caught the shadow person, and it's in my basement. And the guy, the podcast host, like, what the fuck? What? He's like, yeah, and here, hold on. He FaceTimes him so you can see the guy. And in the basement, you just hear this woman screaming like, dude, let me the fuck out of here. And then the guy whips out a gun. He's like, so I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to kill the monster.
Oh, that sounds good.
Oh, yeah. So get this, though, Candice. This is like the first 4 minutes of the movie.
Ooh.
So whatever happens there, he's like, I already called the cops. Don't worry. I'm just done with all this shit. And you just see from the webcam perspective, you just hear off screen whatever happens with people dying, right? So then the podcast host clearly gets fired because he was being very irresponsible with.
I mean, he did it because it's a podcast. He could have edited that. He didn't have. It wasn't like he was our DJ. Where he was like playing live over the air.
The thing is, though, that he was live.
But
streaming.
I put that on.
He was live streaming.
He was live streaming it as well. So there's like 50,000 people watching it at the time, right?
We got those numbers.
Yeah, no kidding. You know what? Somebody could go ahead and can one of our listeners go kidnap a woman at random and then,
Charlie,
keep her in the base?
We know you do
Charlie, Charlie, you probably got one handy. You're probably doing it on the weekend anyway.
Come on, no. We're gonna get in trouble for pushing him over the edge.
Can you wear a button when you go off eventually, or a shirt or something? Yeah, just something. Get us some product placement on the news.
Do it because they didn't listen to the Bloody Bits podcast.
Right? There you go.
Like the Axeman in New Orleans. Right?
So anyhow, this guy's got a box of letters that he gets from crazies that call up his show, and he gets fired. And his producer lady's like, "Look, let's do our own show. Find somebody in this box and have like a redemption story arc with you getting back into it, but now it's under your own network," because he gets fired. Clearly he's getting sued, so they get this letter out, and it's from this dude. He's like, "Look, I hate you." I'm like, well, that's a nice way to start it. It's like, "I hate you, but my wife loved you, loved your show. She died.
Cuck.
Here's a check for $25,000. I want you to come to where I live because there's a monster that lives in the woods behind my house, and I'm going to go fucking kill it. So my wife would want your show to be back on, clearly, because she was a big fan. So this is the deal." And then it kind of follows it from there. And like I said, that's like the first 4 minutes of the movie. So it's spoiling nothing. It's clunky. Like some of the story beats are a little off. It's definitely really low budget. It's a very contained kind of horror movie in that there's, really just him and this kind of old kooky guy. after that point for the remainder of the movie.
Look, I like Resolution. I'm not afraid of small budgets.
Oh, you'll love this. If you like Resolution, you'll love this. For sure.
All Eyes.
All Eyes, yeah.
And this is in the movies or it's on the Blood
This
Bank?
is on the Blood Bank, Tim, as is the other movie I watched.
All Eyes.
Yeah.
There's some kind of musical thing, some kind of album.
All Eyes on Me. Wasn't there like one of those musical documentaries?
Yeah.
It's called All Eyes on Me.
Yeah.
There we go. See, that's what I thought you were talking about.
So the other movie I watched was called Six Plots. And it's an Australian horror movie.
Oh,
that, Tim?
nah.
Tim here's Australian horror
Some
movie.
crazy mother shit going on, right?
And immediately, No, this is like one of those teen drama horrors, like Scream or one of those. Basically, there's a party. This girl wakes up, and all of her friends have been abducted, and they're in graves or coffins or something with their cell phone. And it's all like, okay, don't call the cops, don't call your parents, or I'm going to kill your friends. You have to figure out where they are and save them all before they die.
But they have their cell phone?
Yeah, but there's some like chicanery about the guys hacked all their cell phones, so they only work however he wants them to.
That reminds me about another thing I saw. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen, maybe. Like, it's fucking garbage.
A movie like that would live and die on the performance of the star, I feel like. So I'm guessing they don't do a good job.
You're not going to watch it, so I'll spoil it for you. It's a whole big whodunit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, you find out that
it's T-Mobile.
No, T-Mobile didn't do it. Okay. It wasn't the T-Mobile guy. No, it's... So at the very end of it, like, it ends up being a guy that in the first scene, one of the people who's walking into the high school, one of the friend group, bumps into him, and he's kind of a dick. And then you never learn his name and never see him for the rest of the movie.
Oh, it's one of those deals where they don't even show you.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's fucking so bad. Oh, my God. Just terrible.
Either you can't do that. If you... that's stupid ass fucking thing. I hate that shit in movies.
Well,
it's in the first 5 minutes you see the guy who's a killer because he banged into somebody in the cafeteria.
But Tim, it's hilarious though, because like there's another guy who they're suspicious might be the killer, right? Mm-hmm. But then so the cops are talking about it and they're all like, "Hey, I think it might be Billy what's the killer." And then the other cop's like, "It can't be Billy, he's too stupid." Right?
So, that's right. I forgot this is an Australian movie.
So then we get to the very end of the movie, and it's one of those like everybody's guns are drawn and pointed at each other, but it's Australia, so it's just a cop with a gun, and he's like, he's pointing a gun at Billy, the guy they're suspicious of, and before this they've established like he might be controlling it with his cell phone thing, so if you see him with it, it's a weapon. So he's got his cell phone out, Billy
whiffs it. What?
So Billy's...
Oh, I got you. Australian accent.
Yeah, so Billy's like holding his cell phone out while the cop's like, put it down. And Billy, he's like, it wasn't me. I'm too stupid to do it.
Oh, man.
I'm like, wow.
Thank you, Australia.
Thank you, Australia. So this has inspired me, though, and I was thinking about next month what we should do for a theme. And I was thinking, why don't we do March Badness? And I'm just going to go find the 4 worst fucking movies I can find in the blood bank, and that's what we're covering.
I like this. This will be fun. Except for the first...
No, Candice, there's some bad fucking movies in the blood bank.
Except...
we got like over 5,000 movies or something like that, but there's some bad movies in that fucking...
Oh, you don't want to go back to Blood Fart Lake, Tim?
Oh, that was a good movie, yes.
Except the first week of March is my week.
Of course,
because
yes.
it's my birthday.
Get that one. Yeah. You do get that one. That's fine.
Yes, okay. Just so real quick, the other thing I watched, it's a Korean movie called Unlocked.
Okay.
And the whole thing about it is this girl goes out. Oh, I shouldn't say girl. That's not proper anymore. This woman goes out with her friends. I was almost going to say girlfriend.
This broad goes out.
Yeah, this broad goes out with her broad friend.
A bunch of slits
and
go
have
out.
a couple of drinks and everything's good.
Yeah. A bunch of holes go to a bar.
And she's going home on the bus and she's a little tipsy and she drops a cell phone and some guy picks it up. And after that, he's like some kind of like hacker. and stalk her, and he's able to like just ruin her fucking life by getting her cell phone, and the way that he tricks her into unlocking the fucking phone and all that shit. Mm-hmm. And it's just, I thought it was a good movie.
Oh, can I add one more thing?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
I know this is a long running one, but like I said, I consumed a lot this week that I was excited for. Oh, I wanted to make a plug for The Consultant on Amazon Prime Video.
The Consultant?
Who's in that? I know that name.
Christoph Waltz. Get this. Yes. I was insane when I found out. I was so excited. So, my Twitter crush, Keelan Patrick Burke, he is a writer and he's an artist, and he makes covers for books. He made the cover for this book. And to go even deeper into the story, the author that the book is based on was Bentley Little. And if you know anything about kind of deeper cut horror, he's an incredibly reclusive guy. He's very mysterious. A lot of people don't even think he's a real person. I think
that's not a real name.
And well, no, that's definitely not his real name. And the two people I know who have actually spoken to him, they're like, yeah, he's a real person. They're like, and he is very private. Like, he has zero online presence. You cannot find anything about him. He doesn't have his picture in the back of the books or anything. And but yeah, he's like,
it's like Jack Ketchum.
He's like the same along the lines, the same line of Jack Ketchum. Only he's more bizarro. Like, if you read Bentley Little, you've read nothing like it before. It's mind-blowingly good and almost impossible to adapt. So when I heard that there was an adaptation of a Bentley Little book that had Keelan Patrick Burke's art as the cover on it, and when you hit X-ray on Amazon Prime Video, it shows the book, like, click here to buy, which I thought was incredible.
The pens was filled up.
Like, man, I was so, and then with Christoph Waltz as the star, like, fucking one of the greatest actors of our time. So I immediately started watching it, and it is everything I could have ever wanted, because the thing that makes Bentley Little so amazing is how good he is at satirizing horror and consumerism. Like, this one's about a consultant company that comes in and tries to improve a business, that's like, going underwater. And like another one is about an HOA. Like, another one of his books is about like your mailman. Like, it's always really mundane things that are kind of annoyances, and he just puts his own twist on it. And nobody does it as good as he does. And Christoph Waltz as the kooky consultant is fucking great. It's absolutely brilliant. So yes, everybody, please, or at least put it on and then walk away if you don't want to watch it, because I want to boost the numbers so more Bentley Little books get turned into movies.
Well, it sounds interesting. I might have to check that one out. I'm looking for my next thing to watch. And
trust me, it's 30-minute episodes too. So they're bite-sized.
Yeah, nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, that's unusual. 30 minutes.
Yeah, like, you might be slow at some parts, and you're like, well, where's this going? But then it takes the Bentley Little twist, and you're like, what the fuck is happening?
Interesting. Okay, so The Consultant on Amazon streaming.
Yep.
Sounds like
if you have Amazon Prime, you got it. Even if you don't have it downloaded, maybe.
Yeah, you can always just stream from the website, I know. Okay, so here we go. The last of the picks for February. Event Horizon. So, this is another one we've been talking about forever. This is one, Candice, you specifically called out as wanting to cover on this month.
Yeah, because I think we were going to watch it, and then I know you love this movie, and you bumped it for my movie, and I was grateful. And I was like, I'll remember this, and I'll get him back. So here you go. You're welcome, Eddie.
You. Well, it's very kind of you, but Candice,
payback is
I'm still going to ask you, what's your history with this movie, Candice?
Probably the same as you. I did not see this in theaters because I was only 12 when this came out, so I had to wait for it to come out on video.
Did see this in theaters.
Yeah, because you're like
one of the
years older than me.
Yep, I was 17 or 16 when this came out.
So yeah, I was just a hair under, what would have been the time I would have been doing that. But when it came to video, man, my life was never the same after that. I think everybody can remember the first time they saw or heard about Event Horizon. It's such a 90s movie, but in the best way.
It's a 9/11 of movies, yeah.
Yeah, it is the 9/11 of movies.
Yes, Event Horizon.
I mean, Paul Anderson might say that for his career, but okay.
But there was something else I wanted to say about even. Oh yeah, so in college, like I hadn't seen this in a long time, not since college, because at the time I was dating a guy who fucking hated horror movies. Like he'd always make fun of them, talk shit about them.
You fucking sellout, Candice. You goddamn sellout for dick.
Look, you have no leg to stand on here, Tim.
How big that dick was? Okay, all right. Candice renounced horror movies.
No, I watched them, just not when he was around, and I didn't talk to him about them.
There you go.
But this was the only one that he would watch. This was the only horror movie he liked. For some reason, was Event Horizon.
Because it's good.
Yeah, I mean, that it is, for sure.
That's my history, colorful as it is.
Okay, what about you, Tim?
I know I didn't see this in the movie theaters. I remember seeing it on VHS when it came out and like being really surprised by it.
Yeah, it's for what was coming out in that era.
This
especially
was this was 97.
Yeah, 97, especially with space movies. This was something very different.
I love me some space movies.
Yeah.
I will accept so much more crazy shit if it's in outer space than if it's in any place in this planet, right? Because you know what? You just don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, anything
That's
is possible.
That's
right?
fair. So yeah, this one for me, I saw this one in the theater. This was back during kind of.
Lucky you.
Yeah, totally. This was back during a time when me and my friends were going out and hitting up the movie theaters for basically anything horror that was coming out. And lucky enough, I'm one of the few people that saw this one in the theater because we'll get to the history of it. But
yeah, I know. Yeah.
For so many people I know who grew up watching this movie, it's hard to believe that it bombed.
I
think it caught on after. Because I would love to see what the trailer was like for this. When this movie first came out, how they were trying to sell this movie.
Look, maybe this is more appropriate for the building up of the production and stuff, but what the fuck happened to Paul W.S. Anderson?
This happened to Paul W.S. Anderson.
Oh, no. Is it trauma?
Wait, this is the fucking Resident Evil motherfucker?
Yes.
Who touched him during this movie?
A few people touched him, actually.
Oh no! Oh
no! No, they touched his heart and his mind. Kubrick, for example, with The Shining.
Wow.
That was one of his big influences for it. But yeah. So, I guess we can get to the background on it. So Paul W.S. Anderson directed it, right? And to put you into place, this is right after he directed his first big American release, which was Mortal Kombat.
Oh, I love that movie.
And Mortal Kombat crushed in the box office. It did way better than they expected.
That's a great high movie to watch. What are you talking about?
It's also about an R-rated game on a PG-13 movie.
Everybody has history with Mortal Kombat.
Everybody.
Oh, yeah. I remember it broke my $800 fucking VCR.
Jesus. I guess it performed a fatality on your VCR too?
Oh my god. It got right into the part where the fucking two ninjas are fucking fighting, and then all of a sudden the tape just burst inside the fucking machine. That was it.
What a brave move by the studios, by the way, making the game about fatalities a PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
So he ate a lot of shit on that one, and then afterward they said, all right, Mr. Anderson, here's $60 million. What do you want to make?
It's all on screen, though. It is all on screen in this movie.
Well, almost all. I would say roughly 2/3 of it is on screen, Candice.
Okay, that's fair.
Because roughly 1/3 of the cut of the movie that he came up with got cut.
Really?
This movie, yes. This movie originally...
Yeah, you know what? Now that you say it, because I remember looking at it and going, wow, it's only an hour and like 30-something minutes.
Yeah, this movie originally...
And there's so much that's alluded to that they don't really fucking go into this.
Was 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Damn.
It was a
because Candice, some of the people got there like the biggest horror thing, right? With the doctor, we got her son, we got with Lars Finchburn. We didn't get anything with the other three people in the movie.
That's true.
That's probably like a bunch of shit that they cut out.
Yep.
That's funny because you hear about movies that got brutalized by, the producers or whatever.
Yeah.
But you never have this movie in that list.
Well, this is one of them. The producers wanted, I mean, about midway through it, they went back to Paul because they were getting a little nervous because he was spending the $60 million. And they're like, say, can we make this movie PG-13 as well so kids can see it?
This movie's PG-13?
No.
Oh, okay, I was about to say, what?
And Anderson
I didn't check, but...
Anderson said, listen, we've already filmed a 30-second sequence of this film that took us about 10 weeks to film.
Oh, you mean the gorging?
Yes.
Oh, man,
okay,
yeah.
Yes. Brilliant. Well, you know what? I love that. Sam Fuller move right there. Film that shit right up front.
That was, they actually had a second team for filming all of those, the cuts of the first crew when they're ripping each other apart, and then when
pegging each other, going down on each other. Damn, look, fuck that shit. Sign me up for the Event Horizon.
Tim's going to the hell
ship he wants to take.
Hey, look, you got to find out something is going on.
Imagine Pacino in that cruising movie. Wow. On that cruise ship? No, thank you.
You know, you got that thing with the husbands and the wife. It's like, look, I'm not in the same country, so it doesn't count. I'm not in the same fucking time sequence.
I'm no longer in the
in your space and time.
In this plane of existence. Yeah. So Anderson directs this $60 million budget. Completely every penny is on the screen because it looks for 97. Nowadays you can criticize the CGI elements of it, sure. For 97 though, god damn.
Yep.
Was this 3D?
No.
Because there's some parts with some of the stuff and like the thing that's floating around that looks like it's
James
3D.
Cameron, you hack.
And this is
and
is this is after Jurassic Park, right, Sam Neill?
Yeah, this is post Jurassic Park.
Yep. So,
and Lawrence Fishburne, what has he done up to this point? Because I can't think there's really, except for Sam Neill, there really isn't anybody who's like a major, like, I'm getting $8 million to do this movie.
Fishburne, this was before Morpheus. You can put Fishburne's career in the before and after
post
Morpheus.
Dream Warriors.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was a big one on his resume.
Dream Warriors, Mystic River was a big one for him. And Apocalypse Now.
Now.
Yeah. I'd say those were the big before this.
What a career.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
Still doesn't get
the
attention that he deserves.
The Color Purple, too.
Never heard of it.
Really? Wow, I haven't seen that movie in such a long
time. And probably his best.
Can we do that?
Yeah,
no.
Probably.
It's depressing as shit.
Come on, let's buck
the trend.
Let's 1 month of Bloody Bits movies where it's all open.
We'll compromise.
We'll do The Notebook.
We'll compromise, Tim. Cherry 2000. He was in that. So
I hate that movie. That movie fucking sucked. Let me tell you, that was a movie when I was a kid. That was like a Holy Grail type movie that I wanted to see because I was just like watching the posters and the
commercials. Watching the posters.
The advertising in the newspaper. Yeah, watching the poster, of course. I'm like, oh man, this movie's gonna be fucking crazy. And then I saw it, and I was like, it's nothing.
Yeah. I guess Pee Wee Herman, he was Cowboy Curtis, right? That's pretty big. By the way, this was written by Philip Eisner, and it's really all Philip Eisner did for writing. That's about it. It's interesting though because the original version of this that he wrote, it wasn't about a hell dimension.
Really? What was it about?
I don't even think that's really. I don't think you can say definitely this is about hell. I think this just going to see something that we've never seen before. So, how else do you explain it in human terms?
Right. So, but his was specifically, it was an alien that bonded with the ship, and it was like a tentacle based kind of alien.
I don't like that as much.
We see tentacles in this in the
that's true. That's true. But then Anderson saw this, and he had just took a pass with Hellraiser. So he's like, wait a minute, what if we cut out the alien elements of this? Because space, it's always an alien. And why don't we go religious iconography and make it?
I remember most people I know refer to this as Hellraiser in space.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Yeah, I can see that,
Yeah, so obviously he was inspired by Hellraiser, The Shining. He was inspired by The Haunting, of all movies.
Forbidden Planet.
Forbidden Planet, yep. And Alien and Aliens. you guys
no kidding.
called out earlier. And you know what? I'll give you. So he cast somebody.
Okay, and there was another thing that I felt like had a strong influence on this movie.
Mm-hmm.
The video game Doom. Remember that was about hell on Mars?
Fair, yeah, fair.
And also the extreme gore and stuff.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That could be. No, but what I was going to say is the cinematographer for this, Adrian Biddle. Ring any bells? That
name does sound very familiar.
Well, if you watched the making of Alien and Aliens, he worked. He was a cameraman on Alien, and he worked as a DP on Aliens. So,
okay. Damn, okay.
Yeah, it's fun because then you look at some of the sets and you're like, this looks a little familiar.
You know, I will say this. This is one of my favorite spaceships.
The Event Horizon?
Great, yeah.
Yeah, I love the way it looks on the inside, the outside. Even like that first thing when they showed like that big fucking like square thing and low Earth gravity. Everything about it. I just love the way it's
very iconic ship.
Yeah, you know what its design was based on?
Dragonflies.
No.
No, what I guessed.
Not even close. It was based on the Notre Dame Cathedral.
Oh, it does have kind of like a Gothic architecture going on.
If you take the spires that are next to the main building of the Notre Dame Cathedral and lay them flat, that was the idea for the two pillars that are sticking out of the sides of it in the back. And then a lot of the interior shots, if you look at them, look very similar to some of the interiors of Notre Dame Cathedral.
Makes sense.
As well as like
never been
either, but I've seen pictures. As well as when
the only way to see it is in person.
When what's his name Smith when he's flayed open and suspended in front of the three windows behind him, the triptych stained glass looking windows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's another one. There's shots of Notre Dame Cathedral where the windows, you see him with that outline. And of course, he looks crucified in the scene and everything. Yeah.
Notre Dame.
Fantastic.
Speaking of influences, I feel like this movie might have influenced a certain game that has come out recently.
Dead Space?
Yes.
100%.
And I like how Candice just said
the remake.
Because isn't that a fucking remake from a game like the
remake?
Shut up, Tim.
Still, this was still before the original.
Before your kids were alive, Candice, you were playing that game?
I was thinking about it, and I thought about how crazy it is that for some people, this is the first time they've ever experienced that game. Like 10-year-olds playing it.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
that's like I was talking with my wife the other day. There are people that like think the Flintstones is a vitamin and cereal company.
Oh, and had no idea it was a cartoon.
Well, yeah, because think about it.
Yeah, it's true.
They haven't made a.
See, here's the problem: is I guarantee the Flintstones isn't on any free channels, right? It's got to be on like the
it's on
Cartoon
Boomerang.
Network, the way you at least you have to have some kind of cable that you have to pay for, right?
That's like fucking Charlie. The reason I was ragging on him so hard is because he sent me this thing where he was like, I was listening to classic rock radio and the Gorillaz came on.
Oh.
I was like, God damn it, Charlie. I was like, my birthday's coming up. I don't need to be hearing this.
We're all getting older.
He's like, this 37-year-old woman in my class is wearing an AFI shirt.
Oh.
Eddie, is there a song that when you hear it and then you find out like how old it is, you're just like, get the fuck out of here?
It's not usually songs. There was one the other day. What was that? I was thinking of this piece of shit band, and I was trying to remember how fucking long ago. Oh, Jimmy's Chicken Shack. You remember those fuckers?
No.
There was some shitty like
what was the song?
Do Right.
No.
No, I'm not going to sing. It's terrible.
I don't know. Maybe if we hear the tune.
Can you hum a few bars?
They were this shitty like ska band, and I was trying to remember.
Oh, ska! Come on.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. Like, okay, did these guys when they came out? Was I in high school or like my 20s? That's like a game I have now that my life has become.
Was I in college?
All right, so we know it's a $60 million budget. Candice, what do you think this did worldwide in the box office?
I'm going to go under. I'm going to say 50 million.
Okay. So you're saying 50? Tim, what do you say?
I'm going to say it probably didn't even make 25 million.
Very close, Tim. 26 worldwide.
Oh, no.
Yeah. For real, I really would love to see the trailer for this movie because I don't know how do you promote this movie?
I don't remember.
Are you doing it where it's like a space adventure movie? Are you doing it where it's a straight up horror movie and you're giving away so much shit? But I mean, with the people that are in this movie,
a tough one.
It should have made money.
Yeah, I mean, because the entire cast is incredible. But yeah, so after this, the studios were a little more apprehensive with Paul Anderson. Said, "Okay, we're gonna make."
You're stuck with video games and your wife. You better marry up, motherfucker.
Listen, you need to marry somebody who's going to make you a bigger star, motherfucker.
Yeah. Marry somebody that we want her in our movies. So, all right, we'll take it. Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go. That's what happened to poor Mr. Anderson. As you said.
Not Mr. Poor Mr. Anderson. That motherfucker's got bank with all those fucking
he's doing fine.
He's still fucking working, right? This didn't kill his career.
Those Resident Evil movies are shit, but they did gangbusters across seas.
Yep.
They're just good, getting high, not paying attention, trying to get a hand job from your girlfriend movies,
pretty much, yeah. No hand jobs during this movie. This is
because she might scream and squeeze real hard.
Oh, ouch.
Scared.
So we got starring Lawrence Fishburne, of course, as Miller. I mean, he's Morpheus, he's Curtis. Come on. Sam Neill is Weir, of course. He's a bloody buddy within the mouth of madness. And fun.
Jurassic World.
Yeah. And
Jurassic World Dominion. Yeah.
Dominion. And it's fun because he had two, like, cosmic horror.
Dead Reckoning also, right?
Fantastic.
That's a great movie with Nicole Kidman and Billy Zane. Come on, Candice. Have you not seen Dead Reckoning?
That's a good one.
Okay, all I'm going to say about that movie is it's an Australian movie. So, I mean, forget about that.
Forgive it for being Australian.
Yeah. Sam Neill, Nicole Kidman, they had some kind of marital problems. They go out on a boat cruise and they come across an abandoned ship, and Billy Zane is the only person that
yes. I do know about this movie. Yeah, that's right. Yep. That's a deep cut.
Jack Nosworthy. Jack Nosworthy. Remember him?
Is that like Spongeworthy?
No Seinfeld gags here, Tim.
Seinfeld's been Harry Potter.
He's been canceled. No, he's Justin. He plays the young guy that goes in the airlock.
Yeah, he looks so familiar.
Also on SVU, I've seen him. He plays the uncle of a guy whose stepfather goes to jail for 30 years for molesting him, but it turns out that it was just him and his cousin experimenting, and they didn't want to get caught, so they blamed the stepfather.
Jesus Christ, Tim, just stop talking about SVU.
Tim, I love it. Can I just...
I love how forget Kevin Bacon. Now it's 6 degrees of SVU. So Tim,
with your knowledge of SVU, real quick, is it over or under half of them where the plot twist involves somebody's gay and doesn't want people to know about it, so they lie about being molested?
Oh my God, there's so many episodes. The best episode that comes to the top of my head is the time when Ice-T had to explain to the rest of the white people there what living on the down low was.
Oh my God.
Don't look at me, he says, I just know things.
Well, I got to tell you though, Tim, this Nosworthy, he's a bloody buddy. Idle Hands. Remember, he was trying to bang the angel girl.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And he was on one of my favorite one-season shitty shows, Dead at 21 on MTV, which is on the Blood Bank now. Sean Pertwee, who played Smith, that's your Malfoy whatever guy.
No, what? No, Sean Pertwee.
No, wait, who's
Pertwee. You're right. I have the wrong person up here. I'm just going through my credits.
Who's the guy who looks like a poor man's Russell Crowe?
That was Sean Pertwee.
Yeah, that's Sean Pertwee. No, Jason Isaacs is the one you're thinking of.
Yes, the one from The Patriot.
Yeah, he played DJ. And really good as DJ in here. It sucks because he's one of them who most of his character's stuff got cut.
Oh.
Why you don't?
Yeah, because you don't see anything about what scares him or what the ship would be picking to go
right. And he even makes it a point in one scene. He says, "No, I haven't seen anything."
Trauma.
Right? Oh yeah.
Oh no! But no, when you do, like everybody when they're doing like the introductions, they're like, "Oh, who are you? Who are you?" And he goes, "Trauma."
Yes, and they laugh.
So something's up with that.
Not to mention when he gets dissected. When they open the shirt on him, he's got that massive scar running down his chest.
Yeah, that seems pretty prominent to go unexplained.
Yeah, that's part of what got cut. So, good times. But yeah.
You know all you Snyderverse motherfuckers?
Yeah, that want the full cut of it?
Let's get this release, yeah. Come on, the Anderson universe,
sadly,
right? Come on.
Paul Anderson thinks there may only be one cassette that's got the full cut on it still, and it's in really, really bad shape. So probably never going to see it. I mean, it might turn up somewhere, who knows, but...
I mean, give us a script at least, right?
You know what, let's get everybody out there to reenact it.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Live theater.
Hey, Larry, what are you doing? Are you still doing one of those Wick movies?
Are you doing more than Wick? What about Sam? What's Sam Neill up to nowadays?
Living on his farm.
On his farm,
You can't be doing too much. What's up? Yeah.
Just leave him alone. No, he's in Assassin Club, and he's got 5 more movies coming out. Holy shit. Sam Neill.
Ooh. Really?
Yeah, he's got 5 more fucking movies.
Coming out of retirement.
He's living up that fucking Jurassic World fucking boost, right?
I guess. He had one that just came out called Assassin Club in 2023. He's on some TV show called The 12. Jesus Christ.
I wonder if that's a New Zealand thing.
Must be. I don't know. Yeah. So, anyhow, Sean Pertwee is Smith. That's the one we were just talking about. Candice.
He's a bloody buddy.
He's a bloody buddy. From what?
Dog Soldiers.
Yeah, it was Wells and Dog Soldiers. Very recent.
I love you, Cope.
Yeah, so many.
Nope.
Do that again, Kat.
No.
It had to come out natural. That's it.
Nope.
You can't do it on demand.
Got to come from the heart.
That's about it for my behind the scenes and my people notes. So, anything else you want to throw in? Or?
This is why we're number 82 in New Zealand sometimes, right?
No, they love us in New Zealand. Yeah. Where were we? We were just big in.
You're much better than Australia.
That's
I'll say that.
Definitely true. Your movies are better for sure. Yeah. I mean, the fucking 6 plots or whatever.
Well, don't you remember my idea about having a month that was just Australian and New Zealand movies? Like 2 of each, and then we'll judge the countries based on their movies at the end of the month.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, can we start a fucking war? Oh yeah, come on.
Yeah, we got to figure out the perfect month to start
a war. I've been racking my brain trying to figure it out, and I can't.
All right. I think. Let's see. What month did Gallipoli happen in?
What? What's Gallipoli?
Wasn't an Australian movie with Mel Gibson, some shit like that?
Okay, yeah.
Road Warrior?
Yeah, maybe like a Mad Max themed. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that's what I got for the background here. Let's do it then. Let's get to it. Let's get into the event horizon, folks.
Let's walk through the doorway.
We open with a one of those bad text exposition dumps.
Yeah.
But I challenge you though to tell me how you're going to do this, other than like exposition text dump, a news story, or you know what I mean, some cheap bull.
Yeah.
But we learn,
or like really shoehorned into a conversation just to deliver exposition.
Yeah. Somebody's watching a documentary about what's been going on all the way up until launch.
Yeah, they're all bad.
So, no, I'll take the text. You know, I can read, motherfuckers. It's okay.
So, we learned that in 2015, in this universe, somebody who's smarter than Elon Musk colonized the moon.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
By the way, colonized the moon. I love that. But then 2032.
No, I think they're saying they've been
2032.
Colonizing.
We're commercially mining Mars. So not even that we need the resources for just the planet, but people need better cell phones, I guess. I don't know. Then 2040, the Event Horizon was deployed to explore space, and it went missing just past Neptune. And now, 7 years later, ...
Hats off, because Neptune, underrated planet in science fiction.
Not used very often.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of Neptune.
Usually Jupiter's
because
Mars.
Neptune's not one of the most noticeable ones. Everybody knows what Jupiter looks like. Not everybody knows what Neptune looks like.
Or you got Saturn out there. It's all flashy with its rings and shit.
And Mars because it's red.
Yeah. No, Tim, it's flat. It's got drip. It's wearing rings. Okay. That's what the teens say nowadays. They say it's got drip.
Saturn's got drip.
It is the drippiest planet. Yes.
Hey, if I got my dick pierced, would my dick have drip?
If they don't sterilize it, yeah.
If I don't keep it clean, sure. All right, so Sam Neill wakes up. He's playing Weir, but I'm going to call him Sam Neill.
That's how you have to remember to wash your dick, because you got it pierced.
And Sam Neill immediately grabs a straight razor and goes to shave.
Was I the only person who, because they kept calling him Dr. Weir? Mm-hmm. All I could think about was Dr. Weird.
Yes, yep. Dr. Weird. Dr. Weird, of course. Here's what's fucked up. I love this movie, okay? But how did not one person on that crew, okay, make that fucking joke? Well, oh, come on. You mean Dr. Weird?
Oh, I know.
With the shit that he says.
First of all, everybody on the ship fucking hates him. I love that.
Yeah.
We'll get to it. So this guy gets up, grabs a picture of his wife, puts it on his altar of pictures of his wife.
As soon as I see this again, the first time I remember seeing this,
dead wife. Grabs a straight razor. Tim, did you used to use one of these back in the day?
No, never, because I was like, I won't even do this on purpose. I could do it by fucking accident.
I dated a guy who was such a hipster, he used those.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh.
Candice, please tell me he had the leather strap. So he could
damn right he did. Every fucking morning.
God damn, Candice, you fucking
did he have a
crazy.
big towel that he heated up and put on his face?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And did he ever try to talk you into putting up a barber pole?
First of all, Candice, you know what? Let me just say this. First of all, hats off to you, because you seem to only fucked super rich guys. The guy who can afford a steamed fucking towel to put on his face after before he fucking shaves with the straightest razor, because he's a hipster, right? That's not poor.
It's doing okay for yourself. Yeah.
You've been fucking up.
They're not rich. Their fathers are.
There you go. Their dad owns a dealership. So.
Those are Candice, those are the quick in and out divorces, right? You should be on your second marriage, which is the one that you're happiest about, right? The first one is you do it for the alimony. Crazy fucking ass money.
There you go. Yeah. That's a good move. Fuck, I should have done that. God damn it. Anyhow, so now
too bad you're not attractive.
I'm not.
Not anymore. Now I got to go off of my wit and charm.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Eddie.
So
how many downloads did we get on this a week?
Not enough, Tim. Not enough. So we figured out he misses his wife for some reason, and then he locks in on water dripping, and then we get the establishing, like, zooming out shot. We see he's on a spaceship, and it zooms out even further. This shot, by the way, took them 10 weeks.
Jesus, that's
yeah.
Really?
I thought most of that was like CG.
Wow.
No. I mean, a lot of the exterior. What they would do?
No, it looks
what
so
they would
good to
do
be
is
CG.
they would enhance shit with CG, but they would do mostly practical effects in this.
Then I could see why that would be.
Yeah.
Real time consuming.
Yeah,
and
like
expensive.
When Jack Nosworth's character goes out in that airlock and you see the veins pop up in the arms. Like that's a animatronic with CGI layered over it.
I can't believe this is the guy who's done all those Resident Evil movies. This is so good. There's so many subtle fucking touches in this fucking movie that unless you're paying attention, you're not going to get into. When he does the thing with the straight, when he shaves, it's only a split second where you can see that he's thinking, do I cut left, right, or do I just shave? But then
you've also got, like, he had some excellent actors on this movie that he was early in his directing career, and he even says in the documentary about this that he leaned very heavily on the people who were more veteran in the industry, since he'd just done Mortal Kombat.
So he was just glad to be there.
Oh, so like more able hands were actually guiding him,
right?
As opposed to just him,
right? Yeah. Then he kind of got confident, maybe. Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
No, because you could have a fucking real battle between this guy and the guy who's done Boogie Nights, who I continuously get mixed up.
What?
Paul S. Thompson.
Oh, because of the okay, yeah.
Well, I actually always get
what the fuck?
I always get Paul W.S. Anderson and Wes Anderson confused.
I get that,
yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yes. Can they do a switch? Can we do a body switch and have them do each other's movies and see what happens?
I would love to see a Wes Anderson Resident Evil movie.
Listen, we got to do.
There's zombies in a mountain hotel. With a special train that takes them all the way to Zombie Town.
What the fuck is Owen Wilson doing in Monster Hunter 2? This doesn't make any sense. We gotta
Bill Murray cameo.
Somebody give us money. We can make a movie, right?
Bill Murray's Wesker.
Oh, man. You know what? I'd watch it.
He's already been a zombie, Bill Murray, right? So he's got this,
Oh, man. So, then we cut to the Lewis and Clark, and they are a search and rescue vessel.
You know what I'm sick and tired of? I'm sorry. Stop giving me old fucking names that people are going to be using 1,000 fucking years into the future. Nobody's going to be calling a ship the Lewis and Clark.
If they're American?
Right? Because who's the motherfucker who invented space travel, who got all this shit going? You'd be calling it something else. You wouldn't be calling it Lewis
it's for an exploratory ship that goes to the outer posts.
To be fair, though, actually, Candice.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry. Space isn't
actually, Candice. The Event Horizon was exploratory. It should have been called Lewis and Clark. The Lewis and Clark was a search and rescue vessel.
Oh.
That's right. It should be
called Lottie fucking da.
Yeah.
So we meet the entire.
You know what, Eddie? That's fucking right. You are 100% fucking right. Why are you calling this fucking ship the Lewis and Clark? They're like a mercenary crew, right? They do whatever has to be done.
By the end of this.
This should be called let's see, like the Watergate Boys.
Halliburton.
The January 6th crew.
Antifa. Yes, that's right. Alert. Antifa.
Halliburton Horizon. Alert.
There we go. So by the end of this, I'm going to have Tim hating the movie. Just watch.
Okay. No, I love this.
So the crew's just completely pissed that Weir's on the ship. And we get this fun, engage the ion drive and blah, blah, blah. And by the way, that actor that was playing her, I guess after every cut, after she'd say the cool spaceship, she'd be like, what the fuck is any of this mean? and Paul Anderson's like, it's space talk. I don't know. Just don't worry about
it. Just get the tone right.
Oh, there's so many points where science and real shit matter in this movie.
When they're explaining the faster than light travel.
I don't care. It's so good.
I have the dialogue from when he describes how they do it.
Oh no, my favorite part is expel all the oxygen from your lungs.
Yeah.
And curl into a ball.
Yeah, that's not going to help.
You're not Princess Leia, motherfucker.
Shut up.
If you go out into space, you're pretty much fucked.
Oh, yes, that's right. 2001 taught me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you breathe out. Like, you're pretty much fucked. But whatever. It's a movie, right?
Yeah.
We go to a hell dimension, maybe.
Yeah. It's a good
movie.
I don't care.
They all have to go into these cool stasis chambers, which fill up with this cool liquid.
Back to fluid.
I do love that Weir's like, do I really have to go in here? Because, like, well, unless you want your fucking skeleton to turn into a jelly, yeah.
Okay, here's what's funny about this. If you watch this, everybody else's genitals, even though they're completely covered, man and women, right? Except for Sam Neill's. You can see Sam Neill's because I don't know why, but his junk is lower than everybody else's. Yes, watch it. You can see all the Bacta tanks. They have some kind of bar is going across everybody else's fucking genital areas, the lower genitals. Okay, not the top.
I thought you were going to point out that when he says when you go up to this certain speed or use the ion drive or whatever, it turns your skeleton to jelly. I thought you were going to point out Sam Neill's character then says, "Yeah, we've seen what it does to rats," and I'm like, "What are you guys doing to rats?" What the fuck?
I mean, that's from James Cameron, The Abyss.
That's true. Yep.
Right?
Oh God. So he goes into his fun stasis chamber. It fills with liquid. Then he wakes up before everybody else because he hears a woman saying his name, and that she's so alone. So he goes.
Well, also we have to say before he gets into the tank, which is a small fucking tank, he goes, "Are you claustrophobic?"
He says, "Very."
He says, "Yes." And now you're filling it with fucking water. Okay, so you got two of my fucking things already.
That's a pretty bad. Oh man, can you imagine if David Blaine just developed claustrophobia tomorrow?
Oh God, he starts freaking out inside one of his coffins.
End his career. That's it. Yeah,
he's like, look.
After that, he has to literally shoot himself in the face.
Listen, I've either got the catching the bullet in the mouth trick or like card tricks. You know that guy, he fucked himself up doing that because he tried to make like a metal cup he could keep in his mouth so he could actually catch the bullet.
That is supposed to be the trick. Some people, that's what they've done.
I guess they fucked it up and it like ricocheted one time on him and it fucked up his mouth.
It is no. If you look on the YouTube and take it for what it's worth, that is supposed to be the deadliest magic trick that people can play because some idiots actually fucking did it and they thought, if I put a metal condom in my mouth, and if you can shoot it perfectly into this condom,
yeah, sure,
I'll survive.
Yeah, you try that.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. So, he goes to find the woman's voice, and it's
what the.
Was that a little give me shelter there, Tim?
Sounded like it. I'm guessing it's a phone call.
Now he's on mute, so he's got to go. He's got to go talk to Stooley or whoever. So anyhow, he goes to find the woman's voice, and he finds his lady friend Claire in the cockpit, talking about how she's so cold and so alone. And I'm like, well, hell, you're naked. Put on some clothes.
Yeah, she's very naked and very wet.
Yeah.
And not in the fun way.
Yeah, she's the wrong kind of wet. Yeah. My wife said somebody on a show, some Scottish. My wife said
that's true, yes. Too salty, that's going to burn. Yeah.
My wife said some Scottish woman on some show she was watching used the phrase frothing at the slit.
Oh my God.
Oh, man.
Oh my God. That's like,
I guess she said, like, damn, look at him. I'm frothing at the slit.
That might be one of the most vulgar things I've ever heard in my life.
I fucking love it.
And now you can use it, right?
As soon as I can.
You can't. How can I get my husband into a situation where I say,
the look on his face would be so priceless. No.
If you can see his face.
Phrase will probably be brought up if you cover another movie with, like, I don't know. Someone hot.
Yeah, with some
it's
guy
gonna pop up again, don't worry.
Some guy who looks sickly. You know? One of those guys.
When we do another Twilight movie.
Yeah, real Candice type. Oh, yeah. So he finds Eyeless Claire, and she's like, I'm waiting. And then he wakes up. Oh, it was just a nightmare. You know, we had the dream in a dream Freddy Krueger move. And there's a few of those going on.
Yeah,
here.
There's a lot of like...
Yeah.
And then going into another dream and waking up from that.
We head up to the bridge and we finally meet the whole crew, learn everybody's roles. And we find out the reason they're pissed is because, A, they were all on leave, a well-deserved leave, mind you. And B, the last time any rescue attempt was made out this far away from Earth, neither ship returned.
Okay, I'm sorry. At this point, it says in this scroll, it said at the Event Horizon was the worst disaster in space. If something else happened and then you sent a rescue ship and that's fucking, both of them got fucking fucked up, wouldn't that be the worst disaster that's happened?
Point, Tim.
Yeah, is that a separate one or is it included?
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, the Titanic sucked, but when there was a bigger...
Yeah, can you imagine if you sent the rescue ships to the Titanic and that shit hit an iceberg and also fucking sunk? And it has some fucking bitch on it who had a fucking diamond necklace?
I don't think you'd send some bitch with a diamond necklace on the rescue. But what do I know? Sometimes they name them.
Yeah, Elon Musk got no fucking balls. Go rescue those fucking Thai kids in the fucking cave yourself.
Elon
and say
Musk.
some
You
shit.
know what? He never rescued him. I guess he's a pedophile. Right? Because
that's right, yeah. He's saying a pedophile is better than he is, right? Because that pedophile, according to him, rescued those kids.
Why did he call the guy a pedophile? What the fuck did that have to do?
Because the guy said, like, your stupid idea, like sending some fucking drone down doesn't fucking work. And then he said, hey, he's calling me stupid. He must be a pedophile. I might be dumb,
but you're a pedophile, and I can always read a book.
I mean, that's kind of like the end of the argument right there.
Oh, man.
Taking it to a 12.
So, then Weir explains, all right, well, here's the real story of what happened with the Event Horizon. See, it was a massive cover-up by the NSA because what they said was that the nuclear core in it went radioactive, it went thermonuclear and blew the whole thing up to hell. In reality, no, what happened was everything worked. It did its leap in time or in space, same thing, really. And it went missing for 7 years. Now it's back, and we have no fucking clue where it's been. Yeah,
and when he gives the speech about how the engine works, and he like does this is how you do a wormhole, and he like folds the pieces of paper together and just punches through it directly. That the straightest line is when it's on top of each other or something like that.
Yeah. So
okay, we've all now at this point. When this movie came out, this is like one of the first times we've seen that, right?
Yeah.
Now that's like old school. We've seen that a million fucking times. But when this movie came out, that was like, oh, you know what? That's a fucking easy Carl Sagan
because like
what's going on with that.
That was the first time I had heard that, and I was like, wow, that was really cool.
The closest way to the pussy
because he uses the center.
Open the doorway.
I was hoping somebody was going to make a joke about, like, I'd like to get from point A to point B.
Wow, for first base to home run, yeah.
Tim's like, hey, how do I get the fucking point C? That's her ass.
The point P.
So the quote, and it's a great scene, is they ask him, like, well, how does it work? And he's like, well, it's very complicated. They're like, well,
a lot of math.
Just try us. He's like, okay, well, in layman's terms, it uses a rotating...
You know what? At this motherfucker, I'm anti-vax. The way that Sam Neill is explaining this shit, at this point, I'm anti-vax. I'm sorry, right?
It uses a rotating magnetic field to focus a narrow beam of gravitons. These, in turn, fold space-time consistent with the Weil tensor dynamic until the space-time curvature becomes infinitely large, and you produce a singularity. Now, the singularity, and then I love Fishburne's character rolls his eyes, and he's like, layman's terms?
Yep. You already got me rolling my
character,
eyes.
Cooper, says, well, fuck layman's terms. Do you speak English? It's so good. Cooper.
Cooper. Let me tell you,
Cooper's the hero
of the movie, right? This is the fucking LL Cool J in fucking whatever the Chuck movie was.
The broad gets up out of stasis, and he's walking around with the pot of coffee. And he's like, "Hey, you want something hot and black inside of you?"
And she says no, and he goes, "Well, then do you want some coffee?"
Yeah, she flips him off. Is that an invitation?
Now
he was
I
talking
get
about the coffee.
About.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, Cooper is definitely the fucking hero for sure. So okay, I always like to do this little, and I need to get my my audio clip back. It's the minute when Eddie would exit the movie, and we're right to that minute, which is Sam Neill's character is like, "Yeah, we got an audio transmission from him. Let's listen." And it just sounds like a monster eating people and a dude.
No. Eddie, this is the Art Bell. This is the fucking the hole that has no hole, that has no bottom.
Yeah.
Sound,
that
right?
Russian the
From
Russian hole with no bottom, the hole to hell or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole hell, where they're like, they dropped the microphone down, and it went
so the sound of people being eaten by a monster, I would have been out here. But the icing on the cake, a guy speaking Latin.
Oh, yeah. And this, what he says. So, in high school, I had physics class when I saw this movie.
Oh, wait, Candice, I was an altar boy in Catholic school. I still didn't understand what this meant. Because I was too busy getting banged by the priest.
No, I was in physics class, and I wrote on the chalkboard beside me, Liberate Me.
Mm-hmm.
After watching this movie. I didn't know.
Oh, God. How old were you? Wait,
at this point, I was 16. Like, this was like a couple of years later.
Oh, God.
Anyway, and I didn't realize that the classroom was also used for Latin class.
Oh, okay.
So the next day, the teacher comes in and he goes, "Who wrote 'Save Me' on the chalkboard from our class?" I was like, "That was me."
Yeah, I messed up the translation. It was actually "Save Yourself from Hell."
But I didn't know how to say all of that.
But come on, dude! You hear someone.
Latin, don't give that fucking for real. Let's all say, all right. Let's say we all we all know that we're going to die in the next 30 seconds, and we have to give a warning to the people going to come after us. Do you say that shit straight up in English?
Yeah.
Or whatever in at that point, wherever we're getting into where science fiction has gotten to the point where you're going to
although it does establish later in the movie that he does like to throw Latin quotations and random speeches.
Right. Just for fun. He was feeling festive and frivolous.
No, at that point, you don't fucking do it anymore, okay? You know what? I'm not gonna fucking, the last thing I'm gonna say is, guess what? Watch out, motherfuckers. Be careful of those pussies. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say, be careful of those fucking hell angels. He wanted to warn
everybody, but he wanted to have a little fun with it.
He's got fire.
Let's put it in Latin, which at this time, when we're all living right now,
23,
whenever you listen to this podcast, nobody fucking knows Latin. Okay, so 50 years in the future, nobody even less is going to know fucking Latin. Why fucking say your warning in Latin?
And a doctor who knew Latin. And they happened to meet each other in space.
Well, it's a doctor. Okay, so the doctor.
Yeah, it makes sense the doctor would know Latin. The doctor or a priest. A priest has to know Latin because all demons speak Latin.
Yes,
for some reason.
This is known. This is facts.
Yes. Yeah. That's true. Oh, that's true. Yes. Yeah. Well, because it's just a Catholic.
Exactly.
Catholic.
It reminded me of the Whitest Kids You Know sketch with the nail gun. What's that? That's hell speech.
Wouldn't it be great? Yeah. Hold on. Sorry, Eddie. Let's see an Exorcist movie where Russell Crowe goes up against somebody who's possessed, and that guy speaks a different language besides English or Latin. Yeah. No, he's like, let's say, whatever. It's a Muslim demon.
Yeah.
Muslims have demons, right? Let's see that go up against Russell Crowe.
Okay. You want a Muslim demon versus Russell Crowe. That's the movie you're pitching.
Well, he is in a movie called The Pope's Exorcist, right?
Real quick. Just if you happen to have it handy, that would be helpful right now. How many milligrams was the last edible that you ate? Okay, and that was, about 40 minutes ago?
Oh, no, about 20 minutes
when
we started this podcast. And I've been drinking soju and smoking. So
that explains a lot, Tim. So yeah, this is when I'm fucking out. No, I'm done. Hell speak and a monster eating people in a recording. Fuck that. I gotta go. I gotta go get milk. We're out of milk. Fuck this noise. But no, they zoom up on it and they find the airlock that they can dock to, which is number 13. So then a black cat flies by in a spacesuit.
That thing is past
it's a ladder constellation. Yes. He's like, oh look, it's Ocephalus Ladderus. That's the great ladder constellation. It's right above us. That's weird. Huh.
Why are we going back to Latin?
Hey, how come I broke all the mirrors in this bathroom? Well, anyway, let's go in the Event Horizon real quick. Okay. Now, if that wasn't enough to be like, fuck no, right? They scan the ship, and the lady's like, oh, the reactor's still on, so that's cool. There's no gravity. There's no heat. Did a bioscan, and the entire ship pinged as being alive.
Yep. That's when you're like, tires screeching away.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
This is the moment in the relationship when you tell your wife and kids you're going to go out for cigarettes. That's what we got going on right here. Yeah, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Aren't you going to say you're going to get a vape cart?
The ship's alive.
There's hellspeak. The ship's alive. Yeah, fuck this noise. I'm out. So the team all suits up anyway. The away team does. And I guess the spacesuits that they had to wear, the cast, weighed so fucking much. They're like even Lawrence Fishburne, who was an in shape dude, could only stand up in them.
All the people of this cast, you can see Sam Neill sucking that gut in hard when he's in the underwear for the Bacta tank.
No, Candice, no. Sam Neill. When you see him, when he's like in this, oh my god, dude, that is such a fucking that's like a fucking 90s
in the full body prosthetics at the end, yes. But so they could only stand up for maybe 10 minutes tops in those suits.
Damn.
Yeah, and you can't sit in them because the backpacks are built into them and everything. So the crew had to build them leaning posts. So they could just between takes lean against these posts.
Took $10 million to make those leaning posts.
Yeah, they're made out of solid gold. So, so they get in the ship, they hit the central corridor, and we get a little bit of foreshadowing where we see these bombs. And it's like, what are these bombs for? It's like, in case we ever want to, split the ship in half. Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of good
I'm sure
wire
that won't
work.
come into play later.
No, a lot of good wire work in this too, because they have to do the
floating.
0G. Yeah, it looks really good, and part of the reason for that is that the DP from Aliens they had come in here. He explained to them, because I guess a lot of people have trouble doing the 0G wire work shit. It's such a pain in the ass to rig up and everything. His thing is they would build models of it with little toy figures of people before they would even begin constructing the rigs, and then go in with the little lipstick cameras to see what their angles were going to be best at for all of those 0G shots. Then they'd start building up the whole rig based on their results from that.
And this movie didn't make
it made
any
half
money.
its budget
Jesus
back in the
Christ.
box office.
So, message to Hollywood is, fuck it, don't pay any attention.
You know what? Just give us more MILF
pretty
Manor,
shit.
Tim. That's all we need.
Yeah. Well, that is why we are recording this 1 hour before. before we're supposed to, so I can watch Little Man when it drops tonight.
Tim, I got up early and put my rack of ribs on the smoker, buddy. I'm all set. It's gonna be.
It's all it's gonna look as, now. That's
it's gonna look as skinny as those women in the fucking two pieces, and about the same color as them with their sand-blasted spray tans they have going on.
Man, let me say that meeting's going to be too salty.
Indeed. Oh, I love the jump scare we get here, by the way, with the glove that just floats over. He's like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
and we see the fun meat grinder hallway, I like to call it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it looks like a fun house thing, only with blades.
Yeah, everything about this whole set for the Event Horizon just looks so fantastic. I mean, when you see the behind the scenes and that they constructed the room with the core in it, like they cut all the foam out for each individual panel to make that thing.
Yep.
It
looks so good. You really, it's God damn.
Really?
Fuck CG.
I mean, Tim, $60 million in 97. How much money is that now?
Jesus. That's going to be like $150 million fucking budget for this movie. Can you imagine if they did a remake of Event Horizon? How much it would fucking cost, right? If it wasn't Netflix or Amazon, if they're going to make this into a fucking legit movie.
Because I was going to say they would just do it all CGI and it would cost less than the original.
Yep. That's what they would do now.
And it would be terrible, but it would make more money.
No, there's no movie. There's no big budget movie that's made for fucking $60 million.
That's like a mid-budget movie now.
Every big budget movie's made for at least $100 million.
So I do like the when they're in the bridge, right, and looking around, and Peters is up there, and first she doesn't notice that there's anything gone wrong in here. She's just like a little smear of blood. That's a little off.
Yeah, and then you see it light up behind her, and it's just like viscera all over the place. She doesn't notice it.
Just,
my God, that looks so. Whatever that is, the best fucking visceral that you've ever fucking seen. Right?
Looks great, man. And then the dead body that just floats up behind her because she rips a CD. By the way, just damages that CD so bad. Rips it out of a CD drive. Just like, oh God, that hurt. And she's all like, "Oh, this is a log of the last time they were in the ship alive. Let's see what it looks like." Rips it out, just screws it up. Then we see the dead body. And they get in there, they start scanning it. They're like, his eyes are gone. And they're like, yeah, well, they lost pressure, so it probably exploded. And dude's like, no.
No.
Yeah. Dude's like, no, look at how there's like claw marks all over his body.
It's not like you go into high pressure, your balls.
Yeah, that must be like some real high-res video they were being sent, because he's like, notice the scrape marks around the ocular area.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's really good quality.
For then it was.
Well, no, Candice, this is in 2047. Like, they probably have real good cameras.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
We'll be up to like 16K by then.
Wait, my 12K TV is
got to upgrade to 16K. Yeah.
Damn.
So then they decide, okay, well, we got to, check out what's going on with this gravity drive up front, because that's one of the main like things that they're freaked out about, because it was this radioactive series of magnets that generates a black hole. So of course Weir wants to get to the front of the ship and see what's going on there, but they won't let him go on yet until it's all secured. So instead Justin goes in, and the design for the gravity drive is so fantastic looking.
Oh yeah, with all the circulating rings and stuff, and then when they all line up and the lights are all flashing. It does
look good. Yes, man.
It's very ominous.
It really is. It almost reminds me in a couple of ways. This movie almost reminds me of Prince of Darkness, and you've got the occult mixed with the sci-fi. Yeah, you've got the big spinning.
Wow, you know what? Hold on. You know what? Yes, Eddie.
Yeah, well, it's
I give it to you. Yes, that's right.
It's the cosmic horror. It's the horror of the unknown.
I mean, even
Well, it's the science. Right? Science has gotten to this point, but we can't understand.
Because I mean, like
what
in the Mouth of
science
Madness
means.
is cosmic horror also, but there's no like we've been monkeying around with things in science we probably shouldn't.
That's true.
Of it. But I just mean even to like as simple as the giant sphere that's spinning around versus the cylinder of the spray that was spinning around. It's very, very similar in that way.
Which, by the way, I will say, when I'm watching this movie, the light in my kitchen decided one of the LED lights is going to start fucking blowing out.
Shit.
Just like fucking flickering on. What the fuck? No joke.
The other thing that's so great about that design is that, like you said, Candice, with the three rings that spin around it and are all lit up, and when it activates, they all line up, right? Mm-hmm. But every time it rotates, you don't know if it's going to stop and just be locked in place. So it's just like a ticking time bomb right in front of you. And you just never know when it's going to go off.
It's kind of like just fucking around.
That too,
Cube,
for sure.
Right?
So Justin goes in there and it locks in place. And the orb in the center of it changes into this black like liquid. So, of course...
Yeah, this is the part that's like, was this supposed to be for 3D? Because it has all this coolant going through the air. It looks really cool. Mm-hmm. Not too shabby for 1997 CG.
No, very good. Yeah.
No, for real. I will whatever the little foibles I will forget.
I mean even when you've got like the beads of it floating that kind of bounce off of his helmet.
Yeah.
He's got to kind of brush it away. By the way, those helmets I guess were a bitch because in Alien,
everything in this movie was a bitch.
Just in general, doing helmets like that's a bitch. Like in Alien, they're all fogged up, right? Mm-hmm. But it works because in Alien they don't wear the helmets that often. So like the number of like vents and fans and shit that they had to put in those suits just to prevent it from fogging up was a big pain in the neck.
What about shitting?
Well, there's that.
Better not have eaten those burritos.
The one I feel bad for that is Sam Neill when at the end when he's in that full body prosthetic because apparently that took 8 hours to put on him.
Oh my god!
And then he filmed for 5 hours in it, and then another almost 4 hours to take it off. So it's just like that's your fucking day,
Yeah.
Like god damn. I mean, thankfully it wasn't that many days of filming with that, but.
That's what you say. I don't want any red M&Ms in my balls.
Yeah, I mean, and also they were filming this. Basically, the soundstage they were in was this was not insulated. It was metal, and there was like no heaters in it. And they're in the UK filming in December.
Oh my god! So it was freezing.
Yeah. So Sam Neill's in this like body prosthetic, and they're dumping fake blood on him in this freezing temperatures. Poor guy, man.
What a trooper.
For real. Yeah.
Shrinkage.
Just went through it. Yeah. God damn. And then you look at his performance in here and it's so good. Like crazy. Yeah. So yeah, he sticks his finger in the black liquid like you would do.
Well, because he's a guy.
Yeah. And then something
he's gonna stick his finger in something.
Grabs.
I'm not that curious enough to figure out what I have to stick my finger.
I was just going to say,
stick my dick into it
you
before
put
I stick
your
my
dick
finger
in it,
right?
Hey, hell dimension, take a look at my cock.
You suck it, demons.
You want to see something
It's
horrible?
just that hell
Let's
dimension
go.
beast from Glorious. What the fuck you expect me to do with that? That was a fun
Glorious
movie.
hole?
We got to cover that one too. So then he just gets yanked into whatever that liquid is, and you see it do the weird like sonic boom effect from it. That thankfully he's tethered though, so the tether just his umbilical tether thing just does the all of the slack gets pulled out of it immediately, and the rescue dude Cooper's like, "Fuck, I got to get down there. I got to go get the guy." So you get this very tense moment, and as it's going, that sonic boom concussive force ripples out from the gravity drive,
and it fucks
it wakes up the mother box.
Oh, it fucks shit up, all right, Candice. God damn, because it just splits the Lewis and Clark, man.
Yeah, they're like, that ship is Dunzo's.
Yeah, this massive tear through it. And, oh shit, looks like they all got to evacuate into the event horizon.
How convenient.
Yeah. That ship's a real asshole, man.
It is great, though, that they give a reason why they can't leave.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if they didn't have that the whole time, you'd be like, just get in your fucking ship and leave.
Look, no matter what you want to say about this movie, it's not stupid, okay? Everything that's being done in this movie is explained in some way or another.
Yeah.
And
so they get the gravity online, they get the heat going on it, and that's when we have this fun, one of the bodies that's floating, the gravity hits.
Oh, yeah. And it just crashes.
Falls to the ground, just shatters into pieces. Oh, it looks so good, man.
And in the engine room, like, that's when you see the coolant in the air, and it goes from being 0G liquid to, you know, gravity liquid, and you see it just, like, cascading down from itself. It's a pretty cool effect.
Just looks like it popped, you know, and just floods down into the coolant bay underneath the orb. So, yeah, they're in bad shape. And Justin floats out of the orb sphere black hole thing, and he's fucked because he's
Shoot him. Sorry. Do the Candice. Shoot him. Kill him. Sorry, that's too
Candice,
fucked up.
Would you shoot Baby Bear?
Coming back from that shit, right?
I'd shoot Baby Bear, yeah. Yeah, he's clearly seen something that snapped his mind, and I don't think you want to see that.
I don't think I would have shot him, but when he gets in the airlock, I might have done the Willy Wonka, like, no, stop, help. Kind of. Hey, he's out of here.
You know, whatever. It's your choice.
Hey, where'd Justin go? Oh, he had to step out for a minute.
Whatever you want.
So, yeah, they get Justin into the med bay. They put him down there. They got him hooked up to everything. And Cooper's explaining to Weir what he saw. He's like, listen, we were in there. That orb turned into liquid. I don't know what the fuck happened. Weir's like, look, man, that's impossible. There's no way that shit happened. They get into this big debate, this big argument over it.
Because he's saying it's literally impossible for the engine to have started.
Yeah.
For real, motherfucker, you think at this point I am fucking space certified?
Yeah.
You think I'm gonna fucking
that's true.
lie?
And they do bring that up. They're like, you know, why would he lie about something like that?
Right. Yeah, no, Miller gets on Weir's ass about it. He's like,
yeah,
look,
man, the captain, man, he backs his crew up.
Yeah. That's why Fishman was such a great cast for this character, too, because just like the gravitas that he brings to any role.
Yeah, he seems like a leader.
Exactly. He's not fucking around. So he goes, oh, okay. So, yeah, it might have happened just by its own whatever. Maybe there was some weird gravitational fluctuation. That's what you're saying, Weir? Cool. All right, well, that could happen again at any time. So we're locking that room off. Nobody's going in there ever again. Period.
Yep, that's right. We don't know what the fuck is going on until we know what the fuck is going on.
He's never like duplicitous or doubtful with what he thinks is going on. He's like, you know what? This is what's going to happen. And there's nothing you can do about it. And it's for something smart.
Exactly. Yeah, he's the smartest guy in the room, which is funny because, you know, Weir is making this thing that transcends space and time, and Miller's just like, nah, fuck you. Shut the fuck up. You're not going back in there. It's like, well, why can't I go back? He's like, look, bitch, it fucked up Justin. It broke my ship. I'm mad at it. Okay? I'm going to need a minute.
It's dead to me.
Man. So then Peters is over at the med bay. And she's kind of overlooking and watching over Justin. And she's the one that left her kid in the States to come.
Who has some kind of condition, I guess?
Yeah. Her kid is in a wheelchair.
See him in a wheelchair? Yeah.
Yep. I think his condition is called, I think in Latin,
fucked up leg-itis.
He got syphilis on his legs.
Oh, man.
You gotta watch out for that jobs, shit, man. Come on.
Starts out, looks like a toe fungus, creeps its way up. Pink toe.
All of a sudden, you got pink
toe on your pinky toe. It's tragic, Tim. It's tragic. No, but what's funny is, okay, so it's Christmas, right? And that's because she says, like, oh, my ex-husband took the son for Christmas, so I'll be here on the ship. Meanwhile, this actress, they're filming it over Christmas. She's from the United States. They're filming in the UK, and her family is stuck over in the United States. Oh. So she's like, hey, you know what? I can use this.
Yeah.
I can use this for my character because
I feel like I might identify right now.
Another thing Anderson did for a lot of these characters is he said, look, come up with your own backstory, decorate up your own like outfits and everything with whatever patches, and then your little personal cubbies.
That's right.
Yeah, and your own little cubbies. Just put what your character would have in there. Also come up with your dark kind of backstory for all the characters too, that they can draw from when they're being messed with by the ship. Even if it's not filmed, just have that in mind. So, and then somebody hurt Anderson, and now he doesn't make good movies anymore.
Yeah.
He actually had good ideas. Yes, I will trust you as actors, professional actors.
The other one that he still does to this day, because I saw a more recent interview with him, is if a character is not called out specifically for what their gender is, he just will cast whomever. So, like, apparently the lady here, she was originally written as a man. And so he's just like, well, there's no reason that she can't, just that character can't be female. So what if they left their kid?
So wait, Kathleen Quinlan, the one with the
that character was initially in when it was written as a man.
Yeah. Oh, well, it wasn't specific. They didn't say man or woman. Okay, well, hats off to him.
I'm telling you, it's when you get $60 million and your return is less than half that. Your ego.
And then they rape you.
And then they rape you.
That's how you pay back the money. Oh shit! Did he have to earn that money back?
Harvey Weinstein.
God. Yeah. Weinstein that's what he was doing. It out of his dick. His weird pussy dick. What the fuck happened to Weinstein's dick? It fell off or something? Anyhow.
He's in a wheelchair.
He got whatever this broad's kid had. So. Because she fucking hallucinates that her son's there in the med bay with
Yo, this is a legit fucking freaky scene with that fucking kid, whatever that fucking thing is, clawing that
he's got fucking maggot legs. What the fuck?
Yeah, they're like these giant sores all over his legs, and they look like pus filled and stuff. Ugh.
Cut them off.
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom. Come on, Candice. For real, if you saw your fucking son with those fucking legs, are you gonna let's keep them and see what happens? Cut them off.
Space travel is so advanced. What would the medicine be like that couldn't help that?
Yeah, they didn't have the.
Oh my god! Yeah. Yeah, see, every time I go to see my doctor, I always think, if I go to see my doctor 100 years ago, he'd be telling me to put my fucking leeches on my fucking balls.
But I get what the sentiment is, Tim.
Well, I mean, I said I have a headache, so it's like, put some leeches on your balls.
So then she snaps out of the hallucination. And we cut back to the bridge where everybody's kind of regathered and they're sharing their stories about what the ship's doing to them. Meanwhile, they're like, hey, we got that log video working, guys. Let's take a look at it. So it all seems kind of normal. Then there's a little distortion at the end. And like you said, Candice, the captain of this ship, speaks in Latin.
For funsies.
It's like, hey,
This is Candice is a captain, right? If you were Captain Candice, you would do this shit. Nobody understands this shit because at this point, it's a double dead language, right? In 2047, it's a triple fucking dead language. Nobody's speaking fucking Latin anymore.
No. The little bit of French that I know, I'll throw into sentences around the house, just phrases.
Oh.
Yeah.
Instead of saying now, I'll say maintenant. I do that on the regular. Yep, I'm pretty fucking insufferable.
Well, excusez-moi.
Fucking when Oppenheimer did the whole now I am become death, destroyer of worlds quote, you're like, that sounds really pithy and wow at the moment, but that guy was just such a fucking dork.
Did he really think of that? Did he really?
No. It's from
the Bhagavad Gita.
That's hindsight. It's 2020, right?
Yeah, it's from a religion.
Yeah, it's Vishnu. There's a quote.
Yes, I know, but
Tim,
at that point,
this asshole was practicing it in the mirror the day before.
He's like, all right, the bomb drops, boom, this is when I say my line.
Yeah, this is when I'm going to say it.
What can I
and
say?
Then people look,
ultimate mic drop, right?
Like
right when
off,
fat boy drop.
The first person to respond honestly probably said like, damn, right as he starts going like, I have become damn. He's like, oh shit. I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
He has nightmares the night before about saying it too soon.
He has to like interject it between other people naturally reacting.
I hope the whole atmosphere.
And somebody looked at him and is probably like, "What the fuck is that?" He's like, "Oh, it's just this thing from the Bhagavad Gita. It's it's cool."
And then they're like, "Are you a Nazi?"
Like fucking Oppenheimer. Wait a minute. Maybe he's a commie. Now we're mad at commies.
Are you a commie? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, the dickhead captain says something in Latin, like Candice would.
Documented.
100%. Yes. 100%.
Okay. Tim, if you knew Klingon, you'd probably be doing that.
No, I'm for real. At this point, I would realize I need to make this shit as clear as fucking possible.
The whole point of a log is that you're documenting things to be understood. Yeah. What a dickhead. Right.
Otherwise, I'm writing the fucking Bible. Right?
As the lady's like, I got to clean up the video here. We can figure out what this last little distorted piece is. They're having a power surge or drain or whatever. So Weir's like, oh, yeah, that's probably the core. You should let me into the core I've been wanting to go into. Like, fine. Take him to the fucking core.
Yeah,
I
think this is about the time when it goes from being beyond, this is his life's work, to he's walked into obsession.
Exactly.
All ships are females, right? No lady's gonna let some dude in who wants it.
They try to dock the ship and he keeps swatting it away.
Well, unless by getting it, it's going to be really bad for the guy. Which is the situation we're in with this movie. So yeah, then Cooper's like, all right, fine. We'll let you go up there, dude. Whatever. And Weir goes in. He climbs into a tunnel that's made out of circuit board. Oh, hold on here.
Okay.
Oh, that green thing? Oh my god. For real. This movie is it's really incredible because it's so beautifully filmed. There's so many great fucking pieces in this movie. That green fucking tunnel is incredible the way it looks.
Pause real quick.
And again, 2001 is the same thing with, Daisy, all that shit. But it's so fucking freaky the way it looks, the way the fucking lights are flashing on and off at a certain point. And I'm looking at this shit. How big is the fucking event horizon? You can get lost in those fucking tunnels of the fucking circuitry and all that shit.
Yeah.
Right? And then what the fuck do you do?
Also, it's like the ship was not the ship, the lights, like the patterns that they were on. I swear they had to have studied what would be the most annoying pattern that would sear into your brain.
Yeah, they did a good job. The pattern
that those lights blinking are on.
Do not watch this movie if you're a fucking epileptic.
Yeah,
do not watch
this or Infinity Pool. So, that one actually has epilepsy warnings at the beginning of it. Sorry, I had to go. My alarm went off on my phone.
I thought I heard like a tinkling sound.
Good. Okay. Yeah, I had the same thing. Go ahead. Okay. I had the fucking Rolling Stones
Infinity Pool is a good movie. Then Weir climbs into the tunnel made of circuit boards with the cool green lighting. Then you get the flickering of the lights and they kind of start going out right as he's trying to replace a circuit. Mm-hmm. And this is, again, the wife shows up and he sees her down there, eyeless again.
No eyes, bitch.
Like, you could be with me forever, dude. It's all good.
Guess what? You can't see me to bang your sister.
That's what you would do.
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
Tim, I feel like you may have dated the lady who was visually or hearing impaired just for some part of some scam of some sort.
No, but that is kind of
one of my wishes. One of the funniest ones I heard was about a realtor that got this deaf lady an apartment above one of the loudest bars in Brooklyn.
Yeah, see, that's right. Yeah, you can say whatever you want. Whatever you want.
Imagine that though. Like, here's this
never
apartment nobody wants to rent because it's above a fucking noisy ass bar, right? And
That's a damn good agent.
Yeah. That is, that's a great, that is a fucking great real estate agent. You know what? I'm going to fucking quit my job right now. I'm going to become a real estate agent to the fucking deaf and get them all
just
those
like
apartments
right next
that nobody else wants.
The town I grew up in, there was a noon whistle every day at noon. There's this loud whistle that would go off.
Why? What the fuck? Why? Yeah. That's what everybody.
My town has that too.
There you go.
Candice, when you live, I didn't want to know what that meant. Where everybody had to go.
Lunch alarm for the factory.
Yeah, for the factory workers. For us, it was lumber workers. But
it's dog food here. It's the Purina factory. I shit you not.
God. How bad does it stink out there?
Luckily, I don't live near that part.
See, Purina, the worst.
Tim would find people
Jesus
with anosmia and get them real estate near the dog food factory because they couldn't smell it.
Yep. For real, come on.
Tim Yobo, realtor to the disabled.
For real.
Hey, this guy here's got no fucking legs. Let's get him that one house.
But dude, look. Try to buy this house. They're going to say no. Then you can sue them for
discriminating.
Going against the fucking American Disabilities Act.
You got a buddy who's a lawyer to the disabled.
Well, let me just say you this. Here's a great way to get out of jury duty.
Yeah.
For real. It's got me out one time. When they send you the jury duty notice, all you have to do is just send them back a response with, is your courthouse
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, that's it. 9 times out of 10, you're not getting a response.
Although here in California, they might be just because we're so like pussy and hippie.
Because you're so woke.
Oh yeah, well you're it's California. Yeah, but Candice, next time you get called for jury duty in Missouri, come on.
Except
there you go. That's it. And so you're on a podcast
just send them an episode of the podcast.
That's true.
When you're talking about how you want to have a month about pitting countries against each other, they might see that and be like, you know what? I think if there's an Australian or a person from New Zealand that she can't attend the case.
Well, the other thing that you can always say, and they really can't check it unless they're like they're gonna be like real fucking pricks. Just say.
Tommy, how you been, you cocksucker?
I work in the same area where that thing happened.
What was the old George Carlin bit? You just say you can always tell who's guilty by the space between their eyes. I'm real good. I can just tell by looking at a guy if he's guilty. So he's down there with his blind, eyeless wife ghost. Again, just leave. You gotta go, man. I mean, whatever. Blow the ship up. Get the fuck out.
Yep.
Whatever. So we cut back to Miller, who's up there.
Yeah, you know what? I love my wife. I love my wife to death. Okay, for real. In my next life, there's reincarnations. I pray to whatever Buddha, God, whatever the fuck it is, Satan,
so
that
sweet.
I can meet her again and we fall in love and we marry. But if I see her in outer space at this point, I'm like, you know what, bitch? I'm sorry.
Even you have your line.
You know what?
Buying it. Yeah, even I have my lips.
Yeah.
My undying love for my wife. I see her in outer space after all this time, and you don't have any fucking
Tim,
eyes.
I agree with you, buddy. If there is like life after death reincarnation thing, I wouldn't mind hooking up with your wife either.
Yeah, all right, Eddie. You know what? That's so fucking meta because I was looking at my Twitter today and they had the Internet Hall of Fame with like the worst tweets ever, and about how this guy was like, somebody posted a question like, if you could have sex, if you could make love to any person in history, living or dead, who would it be? And this guy replies with, if that was truly possible, I would pick my wife who passed 6 years ago because we had such a deep connection. I loved her so much. I'll never, ever have another soulmate like her. So I would pick her. And the next response was, I would pick that guy's dead wife also. The best fucking response ever.
That guy's the hero of the week right there.
Dude, because he already bought it. That guy already bought into it. If you could have sex with any, if you could make love to any person, living or dead, he already bought into it. So next, I got next.
Oh, man. So, yeah, we cut back to Miller. He's up with the sphere guarding the coolant, I guess. And this is when a burning body emerges, like Apocalypse Now from the. It does.
It looks
so.
Good, though,
that was another
right?
animatronic,
it doesn't
right?
Look bad.
The body that they raised up there, and they had to make all these multiple layers of fake skin so that while it was burning, it burned away, and it looked really good.
I bet that
man.
was expensive.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
right,
I'm sure it was, man. Yeah,
it is.
The money's on the screen.
So he freaks out about that, gets the fuck out of there. The group all regroups, and they're like, "Okay, this is fucked. Clearly, the ship's fucked." DJ freaks out. He pulls a scalpel on fucking Smith.
Wow, what the fuck is this? It's like us doing a fucking meetup, and like all of a sudden, I'm pulling out a fucking
hold on, Tim. Wait a minute. Mike just said roller coaster wasn't that bad. You don't need to kill him. Wow. No, so yeah, he pulls a fucking scalpel, and they're like, "Dude, calm down. What are you doing to Smith? Leave him alone." And so you can just tell the crew's at each other's throats, literally.
Yeah, everybody's on edge.
Yeah. So then one of the crew members says, "Hey, I got a theory about this. What if when the ship floated off to wherever, it brought something back with it? And now somehow the ship's alive, and this is like an immune system response to us being in it."
Because I think she's kind of like the Spock, right? The blonde lady. She's like the scientific. Let's look at this logically. What's going on? Breaking it down. Yeah,
a little bit of logic going on there. So,
a woman, I don't buy it.
Well, that's originally. I think I was mistaken. It was the blonde.
True. No.
No.
Though. So you know what,
Candice, to your point, I was mistaken. I think it was the blonde was originally a male character.
That makes more sense. not the mother.
Because she made sense. Oh man. So they're like, "Look, we got to get out of here clearly. So go just patch up the other ship. We'll get
if it's the last thing we ever do.
We got to get the fuck out of here. So patch up the ship. That's all we have time for. We have like 17 hours of oxygen left. We're fucked." Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's my problem with this movie. Is at one point they have 20 hours left, and they're already telling the dude, I'm sorry, the black guy, go out and do all the heavy fucking work, right?
Yeah.
Save us while we're doing our own personal shit and the camera's watching us. But I'm
pretty sure he's
the most important thing, but
he does maintenance and engineering and shit like that.
No, isn't he supposed to be the guy who's like
he's the rescue guy.
The rescue or something like that?
Honestly, he's the only one they need in the ship. I mean, if he's
one of my favorite characters. You know what? As corny as the shit, some of the fucking shit that he says, he's fucking great.
Yeah. And Candice is the
Candice, you know who that guy is?
I was gonna say.
Come on, say Tyrese. Say Tyrese, Candice. Come on, say it. It's Tyrese. Trust me.
The first time you ever saw Richard Pryor in a movie was Event Horizon. She's like, wow, Richard Pryor does comedy well.
I don't know who this actor is.
I've seen him in a lot of things. He's one of those, hey, it's that guy, right?
He's that guy. He threw his hat up in the air. He's that guy.
Yes.
So, they send him out to fucking fix the ship. He's like, all right, fine, I'm going to go out. And the other guy's like, I want to get the fuck out of this ship, too, if we're going to be honest here. It's safer out there. Which fucking, I mean, your own crew's pulling scalpels on people and shit. So, Peters is in just watching Justin again in the med bay. She walks by, walks back over, Justin's gone. Then all of a sudden we hear just this pounding noise rattling through the ship. Like, what the fuck is that? She runs into the bridge, and you just see something pounding on the... By the way, I love, again, apertures for your doors. Amazing. So glad we decided that the hinge technology, we're done with that.
You're talking
2047.
About how it opens in like a hexagonal pattern instead of just like a door or sliding up or down.
Exactly. Yeah, they're like those weird hexagonal apertures.
It's over-engineered doors.
Well, I think what is good because the ship looks carnivorous. Right? There's so many sharp points on this thing. There's so many things where it's like something that could bite you and pulling you apart. Because at the point where the gravity drive is, there's fucking spikes that are 6 feet long that explain.
Yeah,
there's no
thought
fucking
that maybe
purpose for, right?
It was because they were loading in the next area, and that's why it had to take so long for the doors to open.
Oh, okay. So you think it was they didn't have enough memory back in '97?
Exactly. Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, the ship only had
what's
like
funny
3K
though is that
RAM.
Event Horizon set that entire ship was
the
built on one set. So like when the crew had to run from one location to the next, they were physically just moving through the ship. Yeah,
that's the problem with today's movies.
Exactly.
It's all done on a green screen now.
Going on.
Yeah, and they were talking about like having that sense of space and that familiarity with the ship. It just makes it.
Yep. It's really, I mean, it's got to, at a certain point, the money that you're spending on like all these people doing this computer graphics, it has to be cheaper to do it. I don't know.
I mean, because the thing with the computer graphics can, not always, but can take less time to do than like physically molding the things, building the animatronics, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but if your movie, like, let's say, Ant-Man,
Quantumania,
physics, whatever the fuck that is getting shit because it looks so fucking bad, and 3 or 4 fucking movies that your studio, Disney, has put out, you're hearing all this shit about how the people who are doing the CGI are
it's so funny,
and
too,
getting
because that
underpaid.
Ant-Man movie is the sharpest a Marvel movie has ever fell off in box office, ever, right?
Damn.
And that's the week.
Wow.
Oh man, do you think we hit the peak of
I think we're
superhero movies
and
we're like
Candice.
We're dropping off now?
But no, what's funny about that is the week that happened is when Cocaine Bear comes out and does 21 million, has maybe the worst CGI I've seen in fucking like 10 years.
I will say, there are certain points where that bear looks really fucking bad. And there's a couple points where the bear looks okay. But again, I'm going to see a movie called Cocaine Bear. I cannot expect them to get a fucking professional acting bear who's willing to get a cocaine habit for this fucking movie. Yeah. There's no bear out there.
You know what, Tim? Fair. There's more gravitas to a movie called Cocaine Bear than Ant-Man. Good point.
Yes, that's right.
Ant-Man and Bug Boy.
I like the Ant-Man movies. I haven't seen the new one.
Fuck Marvel.
I like him in the other movies. I've never seen any of any of the individual movies.
Yeah,
and
Paul
I like
Rudd's
Paul
fun,
Rudd, but
anyhow, so they are in the bridge. They hear the pounding, and then the door starts like getting big claw shaped. Crazy.
Yeah, something is like so strong that it's punching its fist through iron.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I'm sorry, interruption here, but for real, let's say the Marvel Universe collapses on the Ant-Man movie, and the next 2 movies that come out, that's it, it's done. What do movies look like? We'll see
what the next big thing is.
If the next 2 or 3 Marvel movies completely fucking bomb, that's it. Everybody is, I'm done. I'm not going to see any fucking Marvel movie. Fuck it. I'm not going to see any Star Wars movie. Anything that Disney's putting out.
It's going to have to be something else takes its place before it peters out, clearly. And honestly, I think
like Cocaine Bear?
No, it's not going to be something like that. It's gonna. I think we're going to honestly have a resurgence of your big late 80s, 90s action kind of movies.
Ooh, that'd be fun. I look forward to this decade in time.
Yeah, I think it's because we're already hitting that 90s nostalgia like really hard.
Oh, yes.
So I think I could see that taking the place of the Marvel stuff. But the Marvel stuff, the diehards are still going to go see everything. So it'll just go to like it was when the first Spider-Man came out.
There'll be a new Lethal Weapon, a new Die Hard.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we've got the new Indiana Jones coming out, right?
Ugh. I'm not watching that shit.
It could be good, though. I mean,
no.
No, it can't. It can't. I'm sorry. It can't. I'm sorry. It can't.
You're right.
I'm sorry. It can't.
That's
it.
No, Harrison Ford's so fucking fed up with this shit.
Okay.
I will bet our podcast. All right, I will say this right now.
Tim,
if that movie is fucking good,
Tim's betting his chair on the podcast.
Not, asterisk. We might start another different podcast.
Well, Eddie, do you think we need to start a new podcast then?
Yeah,
start,
a new horror
auditions.
A new horror podcast. Oh man. So just as that's happening, Weir's all like, "Hey, we should open that door, guys." They're like, "What? No, there's something out there going to kill us, you dumb nuts." So then they cut back to Justin because we hear the forward airlock alarm go off, and his ass is in there with no suit on.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Oh, he's going to be dead before 21."
Another good scene.
So he starts talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, did you hear it? It shows you things, horrible things." Then he goes to hit the open the good door button.
The dark inside of me. Wasn't this a
Metallica song?
Place, right?
Yeah, one.
Yeah.
Well, he was the first guy to go inside that fucking whatever that liquid shit was, right? He disappeared.
Hey, this
he
is
came
when
back,
you said you were going to shoot him. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, at this point,
I would shoot everybody at this
point. Except for Cooper.
Too loose with that scalpel. Bam.
Yeah. We'll leave Cooper. He's fixing the ship.
Once I see the fucking doctor pulling out a scalpel with people's jugulars,
he knows where the jugular is,
bets
too.
are off. Okay.
Yeah, that's what though? You're in space, Tim.
Oh, it's like cheating.
International law.
Space rules. That's right. Mars never heard of fucking Hippocratic, where the fuck that shit was. Yeah.
Oh, so you think...
Oh, shit. He's got a fucking degree from fucking Pluto.
He went to space medicine school.
Shit, he fucking mailed it in.
Pluto, yeah, which is no longer a planet, so it doesn't even count in space. What a hack.
Oh, well, it's kind of like
double deniability.
Trump University, then, isn't it? All those people listen to Pluto.
So would Pluto University be PU? That's my popsicle stick joke.
PU is my alma mater.
That came loud at PU. Oh, God. So, yeah, the big alarm goes off, and he reaches over to hit the good button, but then he real quick hits the bad button. Don't ever put those next to each other. You're going to hit the wrong one by accident.
Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah. With those big ass fucking hockey gloves on your fucking fingers, if you're supposed to be in that, you're supposed to be in that airlock in your fucking space outfit, right?
I knew it.
You have big blocky fucking fingers.
Yeah, you got baited.
Don't you have the buttons in separate locations? Maybe have on the open the good door next to the good door.
Yeah,
and open the bad
maybe
door.
Separate compartments that are just spaced a little bit apart from each other. Something.
Yeah. You have to press the bad door 3 fucking times before the bad door opens.
They need a lot more control over the bad door. That's one thing.
Man, this is a lawsuit waiting to happen.
If I was redesigning the event horizon, that's one thing I would worry about.
Does not pass code.
All of their door situations are just bad.
Yep.
So no, then we find out, okay, Miller's got to rescue his ass. So this is when he snaps out of it. He's like, oh shit, Mama Bear, save me. And she's like, oh, I can't. I'm going to let you die like my kid I abandoned.
And the whole time, Larry Fishburne's, trying to float over there real quick.
Yeah. So yeah, then Larry, he's like, okay, here's what you're going to do. Curl up into a ball, right? Bite down on something. Grit your teeth. It's only going to hurt at first. Then you're going to get used to it. Your body will start accepting it. There might be a little bit of blood at first, but don't worry.
Baby bear.
Isn't a baby bear technically a cub? That's what I heard. Anyhow, so
we already see some pegging
then you
going
see the veins.
on, right?
He starts getting a massive blue vein, and
At this point, for real, I like this movie, but this is
no. I read a thing
how
about
this shit works, right?
That's
it. Once you're out there, you're done.
From when I worked at NASA, 2 astronauts were talking about this shit.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't know about that, but like I talked to professional astronauts.
Well, I didn't work at NASA. Candice, you work at NASA?
So, but they were talking about like fluid in your fucking eyeballs goes crazy, right?
Wow. Okay. So, all right. So that's a good. Yeah, because at one point, Lawrence Fishburne does say, "Close your eyes, squeeze them as tight as you can," and I'm like,
yeah.
I don't care how fucking tight you squeeze your fucking eyes.
Do shit to you, man.
But, okay.
And
and curling up into a ball, you're already making yourself smaller, right? Make yourself as big as fucking possible.
Well, the one thing you got to remember is that space is basically a vacuum, right? So if you get sucked out into space, you're going to die. Might as well whip your dick out and get it sucked off by space.
Yes. Wow! Oh shit! So
Tim,
my
in space, no one can hear you
start
scream.
Another planet.
Ew!
And then you just have
you know what?
zero
I'll give it a try. I'm gonna be like that Superman thing. Where like I come and like my it just spreads out. That's the Big Bang.
Diving for pearls.
Yeah, it was somebody nutting in a black hole.
Oh, Candice, diving for pearls. Hats off on that fucking reference.
Just floating around next to you. So no, he doesn't get his dick sucked by space, sadly. He doesn't live that dream. Instead, Miller Goldberg spears him back into the ship. They shut the doors and get him stable and put him into the stasis chamber. And they're like, all right, Weir, what the fuck was that? He's like, well, the noise... that could have been like temperature fluctuation. And they're like, no, when the guy was talking about the darkness inside of him, what the fuck was that? So Weir's like, look, I'll figure it out. I just need some time.
I was like, well, that's great because we don't have time.
Yeah. He's like, oh, good. Let me just pull some time out of my pocket. Here, you want some more? Let me get you some more fucking time, Mr. Tiny Time.
Well, I will say this. The one thing I have, maybe now the second or third, the complaint I have, it doesn't handle time very well. Because at certain points, Lawrence Fishburne is telling the guy outside, Cooper, you have 20 hours to fix his shit. That's like virtually, he's doing like a Scotty from Star Trek, right? Oh, I can't do it within 48 hours. And then Captain Kirk goes, you have 2 hours. I'll do my best. So that's what the guy's doing. But then there's 2 other parts where the guy's back inside the ship when he's not outside doing the fucking
shit. It's almost like they cut a bunch out of this movie and it doesn't add up anymore. That sucks, man.
God damn it.
No,
it's still good, though. I don't care. I'll fucking take it. This is up there with kind of like Pitch Black
those are
like science fiction horror movies.
I wouldn't
talk about that. We're going to do
Pitch Black's bad, but it's also great. So, yeah, I'm with you.
What do you mean bad? What the fuck do you mean bad? That is one of the best
goddamn Eddie. Stop talking, Eddie.
What's bad about Pitch Black?
You're right, Tim. You're right, Tim. Vin Diesel is a credit to the craft. 100%.
Yeah. In that movie, he is. That is the movie that he was born to play in. After that, if he died in a car crash instead of some other guy
to be fair,
he
was passionate about that character.
It would have been okay. The
he was
wrong
Fast and
Furious guy
died. It was
died.
his D&D character. So.
Yep.
So you fuckers need to play more D&D. So there you go.
Can we get Vin Diesel to play? If we can get Vin Diesel to play
D&D,
what?
I'll
no.
We need to have like Vin Diesel. So you won't know.
We need to have a guy who looks like Joe Manganiello because he also plays D&D, and then we should all do it topless.
Oh, that's right. You know what? I saw something on YouTube about how that guy got like a fucking $30,000 fucking
he's
Oakwood
a huge
table
nerd
installed to play fucking D&D on. Yeah, I mean, huge.
But like I said, we all need to be topless and on camera.
Yeah, then you
That's the only way I'll play.
Frothing at the slit.
I don't know if we want to play with you, Candice, if you're topless. What the fuck?
I'll hack your video.
There you go. So, yeah, then DJ starts talking to them about his hallucinations. And he's like, what are you talking about with all this stuff? Miller's like, all right, so here's the deal. I hallucinated about this guy that he died in a fire on one of our missions, and I was basically on the rescue ship and I couldn't save him. So now I feel bad about that. And the ship or whatever's in here figured that out, even though I've told no one about it in my life. So something's fucked here. Yeah. And the DJ's like, oh, I figured out the recording. He didn't say save me. He said save yourself from hell. Yeah.
Okay, here's my other problem with this movie. I'm sorry. The NSA is involved in this, right? Okay, and they can't fucking find somebody who speaks Latin who recognizes that as being
Latin. Well, the NSA has a lot of strengths and weaknesses, and in 2047, because we've had so many Republican presidents, they've been defunded massively. That's why we're doing a bunch of commercial.
Yeah. So since we had so many Republican presidents, I would be sure that the NSA would be full of a bunch of fucking Catholic religious freaks who would understand the sounding of Latin, right?
You know what? Then I guess it's the liberals. Okay. Yeah.
It's not like we had a bunch of libtards running the fucking NSA. It was like, what?
Yeah, that's true. They made us quit learning about Latin so that we could learn critical race theory, right, Tim?
Yeah.
We have to read about lesbians in school, and that made us dumber. Fucking idiots.
Nobody can explain what critical race theory is.
No. They just don't like it, Tim. That's all they got to know. It's bad.
What does that mean?
This is the party of just say no. Remember? Like,
yeah.
Look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they don't mean K-N-O, but a bump. Yes, that's right. I made a spelling joke, motherfuckers.
Forgot the W.
No, sorry. I didn't make a spelling
Candice,
joke.
That was probably your best correction of someone's spelling to date. Very good. Oh, yeah. Then, just as that's happening, we fixed the last log file of the video. And boy, howdy.
Oh, that's when sexy time happens.
This is when I was getting frothy at the crotch. Let me tell you.
I rewound this like 20 fucking times. I could not get a proper screenshot off. It's happened so fast.
And
you see just enough to register what's happening, and then it's bloop, gone, so you don't look too close.
I'll put it this way: none of it's good. Yeah. So there's like somebody gets. Well, yeah, some of it's good.
What do you mean? Some of it's good.
The oral is good, but
not
the guy
were they
getting
consenting.
Again. We're in space,
nobody was
let alone
right?
hell dimension, so the laws are different.
You know what? I am sorry. That is when I turn to my wife and go, you know that thing you never said you were going to do?
We're booking a flight on SpaceX. We're going to get off the planet, and you're doing it. Let me tell you. Because of...
That's the whole point of SpaceX.
Well,
is to trick your girlfriend into
anal. Yeah, Tim. Because of the implication. Right? So I love they watch the crew ripping each other apart and fucking and sucking and just it's a very like I mean just a hellscape video.
It's extremely
of the crew
chaotic,
ripping each other. I mean, yeah, it could be pleasant.
Depending on your
That's
view.
true.
Well, I mean, it's still extremely chaotic.
At that point, come on. If you know you have like 20 seconds, if you know you have 20 minutes to live and there's like 10, 15 people around you.
Yeah, hit one of them in the back of the head with a hammer so it breaks their teeth out. That's one of the things I saw.
You got to throw one down on the table and then just start dissecting them.
Yeah. Start dissecting someone in a table. Impale people in those fun spears.
No, the
balance of pleasure.
Aspect, right?
I'll tell you what, the getting your dick sucked part, I'd be there for that one.
In space.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my dick in the back.
Good to know.
Yeah. And I mean, of course, the whole visions of hell, all of this was inspired by Hieronymus Bosch. Of course.
Classic.
Of course.
No, we're talking about the artist.
Not the Amazon series Bosch, Tim.
Sorry. I know. Come on, I know.
I've got to have the patience of a monk to deal with.
Great actor, though.
You know that? I really do.
I'm sure those monks live up to pressure.
To be fair, probably. So yeah, he wanted any screenshot of it to just look like one of those paintings. Which hats off, he did it. I mean, goddamn. But I love immediately like the video ends and you just cut to Miller and he just says, "We're leaving."
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Brilliant,
Weir's freaking out. He's like,
right?
No, you can't just leave her. You can't just leave her. He's like, no, I don't intend on just leaving it. We're gonna.
I would love to see this in every horror house movie. Is where at a certain point we go, you know what? Let's burn this fucking house down and just collect the insurance money, right? Get some fucking insurance money on your goddamn haunted house. Burn it down. Do the same thing with this.
Great part
it has to be insured.
Where they're like, we're getting the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's like halfway, not even halfway through the movie, they move into this new house, weird shit starts happening. The wife looks at the husband and says, "This place is haunted, let's get the fuck out of here." And they actually move to a different house.
I love it. Yeah.
But it's the child that's haunted, not the house.
Yeah.
Well, that's even easier.
So
that's cheaper than the house. You just load them into the trunk of your car, push it into a lake, and blame it on a minority.
Oh, jeez. Wow, we have to go there.
Well, I was talking about you, Candice. As a white lady in America, that's how you do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, no, who was that lady?
Many, Tim. There's many.
Shit, right?
It's an epidemic.
Sweeping across the nation, the new fad.
Yeah. It's like there used to be songs about new dances coming out. This is the new frame a minority for murdering your children craze. Do the Karen.
Do the Karen dance. Yeah.
The Karen.
Karen and you see him drowning the kids.
Right?
Yep. So he's like, "No, you're right. We're not going to just leave her here. We're going to get a safe distance, turn around, fire tac missiles, blow this piece of shit to fucking smithereens," which is a word we still use in 2047, by the way. Yeah, we're done. We're fucking out of here. And Weir's like, "No, you can't leave. She won't let you." And this is when you punch him.
Yeah. This is when you know he's gone way over the edge.
Yeah. She won't let you? Okay, I'm going to light you on fire now, sir. I'm done talking to you.
Mm-hmm. Because at this point, I'm sure with right now how woke we are in 2023, by 2047, we're not calling ships she.
We can't do that anymore, right? Now we got to call them...
They, them.
Yeah.
They them won't let you leave.
They them won't. Z won't let you.
Wait a second. How many people? What the fuck?
So yeah, now we cut to Peters, and her and Cooper are running through getting the CO2 scrubbers out of the core room because
cheapest looking fucking things I've seen in this movie. For real, that's
they look like air purifiers you buy on Amazon.
Fucking props, yeah.
They're just like tubes. So they're pulling them out, and then on the way out, she sees her son and the kid's walking, and I'm like, no,
and
that's
she's
not
not
your
like,
kid.
Gee, I wonder, like, why he'd be here, or
no.
Yeah, all right, Candice, I know that you love your children, right?
Mostly, yeah.
Eddie, you love your children, right?
Thank God.
I don't have children, but at this situation, okay. If I'm on a spaceship and all this shit's going on, and I see one of my kids who all of a sudden is
supposed to be on Earth
and running around, and you know what? No, I'm not falling for that shit.
Yeah, I would not run after that kid.
No. Yeah. And I just got to say, I was just more horrified at the premise of you having kids, Tim. Do you imagine the shit? That Tim would put in his kid's head?
It's always been one of my greatest dreams to have a kid. Okay, if I could live in an alternate universe and teach that kid, do like a dog tooth on that kid. And now, even before that movie came out, when I was like 13, 14 years old, I was already thinking about that. Like, what if you have a kid and you teach him that colors are numbers? Like, instead of going 1, 2, 3, they go green, red, pink.
That's it.
And then you put them in the universe.
Yeah, that's how we got them from the fucking rainbow. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I was more thinking about what you said about, like, if you had kids, how you'd raise them. That you would never warn them not to touch hot stoves or play with something dangerous. You're like, they'll figure it out.
I mean, some do.
They got it, right? Come on. I still touch hot stoves to this time because my parents didn't teach me.
Well, if somebody had taught her when she was a kid not to chase after ghost suns in haunted spaceships, maybe she wouldn't have.
Yeah,
no, she's the one that does the falling, Tim. Yeah. She gets like, it's almost like Roadrunner into this trap.
Yeah, she looks down, then she falls.
Holds up a sign that says
shit.
help, and then falls down into the core coolant area.
She's running, and then all of a sudden, because of zero gravity, she's running over the space, and this is like,
oh, that'd be fun. See, the ship should have fucked with them with the gravity. Just occasionally just shut the gravity off, turn it back on.
Oh, yeah, she keeps, like, going up and down, slamming into the ground over and over again.
You imagine you're trying to take a piss, all of a sudden the ship turns the gravity off, you're pissing in your face. God damn it.
I've been drunk enough. Yes.
So she falls to her death.
I've done an orangutan.
Good to know.
It's a great video. So she falls to her death, and then her blood starts leaking in and mixing with the coolant, and you're like, "Oh, that's it. That's the last ingredient the ship needed."
Yo, that's once the blood gets mixed in with that shit, know some
we
bad
cut to
shit's
Weir.
gonna happen.
He
right?
walks in and sees her dead, and he's like, "Ah, shit, dead Peters. Damn it!" Then he flashes back to his wife. And we see that the reason that he freaked out a little bit because of his straight razor is because she killed herself with a straight razor.
Why would you continue to use them?
Yo, that's a fucked up... Yeah, you know, Candice, thank you. I didn't even think about that up until this moment. Get a fucking Braun, okay? At that point, Braun's got to be like, Series 87?
He got 92.
Get a fucking Norelco, a Panasonic, whatever. You get the one that goes, hey, you know what? I bought this company because I shaved myself and I didn't use the same thing that killed my wife.
I knew this was going to get you too,
So I liked it so much,
Tim.
I bought the company.
And that's also why he doesn't like the sound of the dripping water, because she was in a bathtub. Because when you're in a movie and you slit your wrist, you got to be in a bathtub.
Okay, nice, yes. And always with the drip, 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 right? Come on. They look like they could afford a bathtub that had proper plumbing.
Well, I think that's more
drip
expensive
after they turn off the water.
Harder to manage because you never know. You never know the rotation. You know, like in Australia, they can account for it. They're like, okay, you're always upside down, so we just build it backwards. In space, you never know what position you're going to be in, Tim. It's difficult. So yeah. Then she pops back up eyeless and is like, oh, I got all these wonderful things to show you.
And you get to see tits.
And I can already see your tits. Yeah, exactly. Are we going to see some bush? What else?
Not kids. Yeah.
And you get Sam Neill's face smushed into them.
They're thick enough.
Yeah, no, you get her gouging his eyes out. That's the wonderful things.
I see, again, one of the things I like about this movie is the whole thing about no eyes, because... Whatever we have, I mean, my drunk high takeaway is the eyes that we have as humans, we can't see and understand what they're going to see.
True cosmic horror.
So there's no need for the eyes.
Yes.
It's beyond our comprehension.
Well, I mean, again, drunk and high. Was it the Mayans who supposedly saw the spinous ships coming and they didn't know what they were?
Because they've never seen them before.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Close enough. All right. I'll take that, Candice. I'll take that. All right. You didn't actually.
Yeah, you're in the region.
I got close
so
enough.
Right.
I'll take that. Yes.
Close enough.
Yeah. So, I mean, just really, for real, imagine being on the first spaceship that's going to fucking go faster than the speed of light and going to another fucking universe. And then seeing whatever the fuck that is and then coming back. That's going to...
It's like I like giving my cats shark sometimes to eat. Like I cook up shark.
Why? Do you see their like eyes go big or something?
Oh yeah, because
Eddie, yes, my wife bought a fucking crab last week, and we put it on the fucking kitchen floor.
Oh yeah, because just in nature, like that cat would never eat a shark. There's no way. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So now my cat is eating shark, and it's like, God, this is good. And I'm like, yeah, you're never getting it again, bitch. Go catch one.
Go Ken. If only fucking Quint
just chuck the cat out there, just like the black cat at the Event Horizon. Yeah, just in a scuba suit.
See, that's how we're gonna get a fucking TV show movie. Okay, let's see. Mecha Shark.
No, there's already Meth Gator coming
House
out
Cat
after Cocaine Bear. So.
Of course.
Oh my god, the ending to Cocaine
so
Bear.
good.
The way it sets it up.
Go watch that. It's such a fun movie.
Yeah. It's really for real.
That's a
I don't like
movie.
seeing movies in the movie theaters.
100%.
I very rarely go to see it. Yep. It's definitely a theater movie, and even though I saw it in closed captioning, where probably most of the people besides myself had some serious hearing issues,
totally,
it was still
so.
Fun.
Then this is when we hear, all right, well, the rescue ship, the repairs finished on it, so we can get the fuck out of here. You know, he radios into Miller, and just as Cooper's radioing that into Miller, we see fucking Weir sneaking off of the rescue ship. Like, son of a bitch. So,
yeah. Don't trust a scientist. Yeah. You know what? This is very pertinent.
Do not trust
anti-intellectual.
Right?
Makes sense.
Yeah, we need the guy that can speak Latin. He's the one that's going to crack it, not the scientist.
Oh, yes, the person who understands religion. That's right.
So then, this is when Miller discovers one of those explosives that was supposed to blow the Event Horizon in half and separate the hull from the gravity core. One of those explosives has been ripped out of the ground. So, oh shit. He radios in over to Smitty and goes, hey, Smitty, this is the first time I'm using your name in the movie. Yeah.
Your name is Smitty.
You got a Smitty name. Why don't you look around for a bomb real quick? It's probably on that ship. So he's like, fuck. Runs around. Finally finds the bomb. He's like, I got you son of a bitch. Opens up the little latch to see it. 4 seconds left.
And you can see him, like, just collapse.
Yeah. It's just...
If you found the bomb at that point, isn't whatever you're gonna have to do to stop it? Isn't 4 seconds?
I guess
enough?
Not.
It's like a Claymore. It looks like a Claymore, right? So if you can disable the Claymore, you should be able to do that in 4 seconds. If you can't do it in 30 seconds,
I don't know. Maybe he was like, I don't have enough time to jerk off before it blows up,
and that's what made him sad.
Yeah, because back in 2023, he used to listen to this podcast.
Just pull your dick out into that vacuum.
Listen to this podcast where this guy screamed about jacking his dick off if he knew he was going to die constantly.
It's very retro.
Just enough time to say, "Oh fuck," and then blow up. But then our hero Cooper, still alive, floating through space, propelled.
I thought for sure he was going to die, but he does not.
Of course.
No, he's the LL Cool J in fucking whatever that shark movie is in this one, right?
Because then he's like, "Oh shit, right? What the fuck am I gonna do?" He's like, "Oh, I know. I'll be the Rocketeer with my air tank,
using all my oxygen."
Yeah, so I'll blow out all of my oxygen and face toward the ship. So he waits for it to charge up, hits the little release valve, and fires off.
Good move, yes.
So this is when Miller radios DJ. Warns him about Weir, says, hey, man, Weir's not good. So if you see him, you might want to, like, kill him. DJ's like, oh, don't worry, I got this. Reaches down, he picks up a bone saw. He's like, I'm going to fuck this guy up. No, he just gets his ass beat by Weir.
He does. He gets tossed around like a rag doll.
Yeah, Weir's got super strength all of a sudden. We got Super Sam Neill.
Doctor, what are you going to do?
Super Sam and Neill.
So Eyeless Weir beats the shit out of him, slams him down on the table, rips his shirt open. You see the big scar that they didn't explain, and just guts him, turns him upside down, hangs him like the guy getting tortured in Ichi the Killer too. What was it?
I was also thinking Silence of the Lambs. What Hannibal Lecter did with the cop, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Put him on display.
Yeah, so this is before.
After.
Is this before or after?
Wait,
no, this is after. This is 97.
Ooh, okay.
Is it?
Event Horizon's 97. Silence of the Lambs is like 91.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Fuck.
91.
Now, see, that did it to me. Now I feel old. God damn.
I'm going to double check that.
Yeah. Tim, I
91,
was...
yep, I was right.
Tim, I was 10 when that came out.
91, that's when I went to fucking Germany, Berlin to see fucking Roger Waters, and Silence of the Lambs came out
I was 6.
Year. Oh my fucking God. Oh, Candice, you were 6 years old.
This kill is such a good, the body hanging in front of the windows with the backlighting and all the organs out on the operation table below him. Just looks fucking great. It's fantastic.
No, all the gore in this movie.
Yeah, there's no CG blood.
There's nothing that looks like shitty.
The closest you get is again when Justin's in the airlock with the CG on the veins.
With the water, but look, it's out of space, right? It's been to another fucking dimension.
With the water.
Maybe that's how it's supposed to look, right?
So now Miller's fucking pissed because he's just losing all of his crew, which he swore would never happen again. And
did we already get to the point where he gets his horror thing with the thing with help me?
No, that's right at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the what do you call it? With the burning guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the burning man.
No. So this is when Miller he gets one of the cool guns that shoots out the weird anchoring bolt thing, whatever the fuck those things are.
Oh yeah, that should kill everybody in that fucking spaceship.
Oh god, when they break the windshield,
broken, right?
Which, by the way, breaks easier than the windshield on my fucking car would. It's ridiculous. Anyhow,
you just have to hit it the right little point, with enough pressure,
it's also fun that they didn't even do a double pane window. It's just one fucking piece of glass.
Plus, why have a window if you're in space?
Yeah, that's fair too. You could just use cameras.
Oh yes, because again, at the beginning of this movie, they're taking this gigantic spaceship out, and the guys who's supposed to be driving it has the smallest window open in the beginning of the ship. I'm like, what the fuck? But yes,
anything
cameras, sensors, right? There's a thing going off at the beginning when they get too close. Right. There's a thing showing up.
But you also have a cool Dr. Evil chair that weird that he spins around in.
That's a cool
pretty
chair.
Sweet.
I like that chair.
He spins it around. He gives the parlor scene speech about how the ship has crossed over to somewhere else and it killed its entire crew, and now it has another crew. And he goes and activates the portal real quick. And he's like, well, yeah, you asked, Miller, you asked where the ship's been. Well, now you're going to go see, buddy.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Back. I'm sorry. At this point, if I'm in this situation, you know what? Yeah, fuck it. In for a penny, in for a pound. Let me see.
No, I feel like I try to survive.
For real. For real. With all this shit going on, I'm going to be the first fucking person in the universe to find out where the God or the devil, if true evil exists, or if there's aliens, if there's alternate universes.
Yeah,
I'll be the
I don't want to get disemboweled.
To figure out. Fuck it.
Well, the other crew. The other crew figured it out before you. I mean, they're dead, but they did figure it out before you. Oh, sure.
Yeah, come on. That's smart.
So, then he holds up the bolt gun because Weir's got one as well. And dude's like, look, man, if you shoot that wrong, you're going to collapse the entire fucking bridge of this thing.
And that's when he says,
you don't have any eyes.
What makes you think I'll miss? And he says it so convincingly.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, that he doesn't push it. He's like, you know what? I believe him.
Yeah.
The way he said that.
It is pointed at you pretty much.
It's a pretty
point
small
blank,
location too.
So.
But that's okay. Who's here to save the day? Cooper, because he slams into the windshield. Basically.
I'm back, motherfucker.
And this
pretty much
makes
what he
Weir
says, right?
freak out. And he swings over and fires the bolt gun at Cooper, which is very stupid because it just breaks the windshield on the spaceship.
Like it's made out of sugar glass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it starts getting sucked out into space and collapsing, which...
Again, I love this movie, but this is the fourth time that, as far as I know, no atmosphere in outer space kills you.
No,
right?
they should have been dead almost immediately. But hey, what are you going to do? There's hell dimensions we got to deal with, okay? So, so Weir gets sucked out into space. And Miller, he's got the little tether, so he rope climbs up into the next room, just as the aperture door is closing. And now I know why they're apertures. And it's because you have to be able to stick something in the door that's closing.
Oh, yeah, to stop it.
To
Just
wedge it open for drama. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he rams this wrench up into it just because he sees, Stark and Cooper are both there. So he's got to rescue them, right? So Cooper floats off, though, because whatever. He's got a spacesuit on. He's cool. There's no air in his spacesuit, but whatever.
Yeah, because he used to get there, hoping he'd get inside.
But Stark's there, so Miller, Miller can't leave somebody behind. So he reaches in there and gets her and rescues her, and everybody's happy. And that's it. Everybody wins.
That's the end of the movie. Good night, folks.
No. Now remember the whole not leaving the man behind thing. He gets Stark, gets his redemption, but that airlock alarm goes off. It's like, oh shit, who is it? Who's in the airlock? Is it Weir? Did he somehow survive going out into space? No, it's Cooper. He's like,
I was happy to see him.
Well, of course, yeah, he's the best. So Miller's like, all right, new plan. Yeah. We're gonna blow this entire fucking thing up. It's like there's this whole thing that very conveniently separates the evil half of the ship from the regular.
Because all of a sudden, exactly. This is the first time we're finding out there's escape pods on this fucking
thing.
They
engineered it so that if something did go wrong with the engine, the front part of the ship could act as an entire space life pod. Like they engineered it that way.
And why don't you do this at the beginning of this? As soon as you get on this,
they
were originally going to try to bring the ship back to investigate.
Yeah. So Miller runs back there, activates all the bombs. When you activate the last bomb, then the thing opens up with the remote for it, which is interesting.
Yeah,
from a design perspective. Yeah, it just folds open, click. It's like sweet. It's like RoboCop's gun. It's like nice. Grabs the little remote. And then the ship starts responding, though, because the ceiling tiles have like that green liquid or something behind them, green lights that starts filling up full of blood and turning red. And then even the big green, the room where they have all of the
tanks.
all the stasis.
Yeah. Then the elevator doors open up.
It is very cool, though, when you see all the blood just starting to fill up all the surfaces.
Yeah.
That's when you know shit's about to get real.
Very The Shining. You're very correct there, too. with the big sphere of it. And again, in the middle of the room is the big green cylinder, like in Prince of Darkness. So it breaks open and everybody gets covered in the blood, and it's fucking cool looking. So Miller, after activating the last bomb, getting the remote, turns around and goes to run back, but he can't because there's his burning buddy.
It looks great.
It does. Looks fantastic. And he's like, no, stay here with me, dog.
Mm-hmm.
You want to chill here, right? You don't want to leave me behind, do you, pal, little buddy? Miller's like, yeah, no, I'm going to leave, actually, because you're a hell dimension guy. You're not my buddy. I watched him die.
Yeah, he like stands up to it.
Yeah, I'm not stupid.
He's the only one, that's like,
kid.
no, you're a liar. And he shapeshifts back to Weir, but yeah. Hey, my buddy used to blow me, so if you're really my buddy, it's sucking you off. I was kidding. You really didn't blow me, but.
One time when I was sick, he went downtown, he got 2 blowjobs, he came back and gave me.
So he's like, damn it. Yeah, I couldn't fool you. He turns into a Weir beast, is what I like to call Weir with all the runes. But his eyes are back.
It's all carved. It's carved into his skin. No, his eyes aren't back. He's sewn them shut.
No, I thought his eyes were back when he's Weir beast. Okay.
No, he sews them shut because you see, I think you won't see
Alice in Chains, you hack.
Right?
See, that's a band, Tim. Okay. He knows the name.
I know the name, yes. Something I want to steal something. I want to steal something. About some fucking song, right?
No, that was Jane's Addiction.
There you go, yeah.
That was Jane's.
Don't want to pay for
stealing
it, right?
was Jane's Addiction, Tim.
Yeah, they come to kill the rooster. That's probably their biggest song.
There you go. Yeah. I was thinking Spoon Man, but okay. Or Man in the
my
Box.
cock alone,
That's
motherfuckers.
Okay.
The man with two cocks.
The man with two cocks.
No, that's.
I came up with that,
like
and every time that song would come on the radio, I would sing that.
I'd like to be the man in the box, if you know what I mean. So
no, extrapolate on that.
I'm talking about fucking. So then Weir's like, hey, I'm back. The ship won't let me die. And by the way, it's not going to take you to hell. Hell's just a word. See, this is something worse. Let me show you. So he shows him a fun montage of all the crew, dead, ripped apart, tortured, being tortured. A lot of like barbed wirey kind of.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna get back to Earth, and that's gonna leave you alone.
You think that's it?
Right?
Yeah, his brain's ruined. He's gonna have too much PTSD. You might as well go to hell.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair. Yeah.
There's no coming
all
back.
All of our vets who listen to this, by the way, you might as well have just died in combat, is what Tim's saying.
No, I did not mean that at all. I'm talking about a science fiction.
Tim says,
movie.
You know what? You might as well have stayed there.
With a cosmic horror.
No, that's okay.
Maybe we want to
so. But then Miller's like, pops loose of him and starts struggling, and he reaches over, gets over to the remote, but there's fire between him and the remote. And you know that
his fear.
Yeah, exactly. And he reaches through the fire, and Weir keeps saying, "Do you see? Do you see?" And then he just grabs the remote and says, "Yes, I see," and hits the button. And I'm like, that wasn't as cool of a line as you thought it was.
It's not the worst.
You should have said something like, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. You're not a writer.
Yeah.
No, because Sam Neill's like, "Do you see it?" And Sam Neill is referring to,
he says,
"I
see
what's
the
going
button?"
to happen according to his plans or whatever. Yeah. Yes, and then Sam goes, "Yes, I see it," and then bang, that's it, blows it up, motherfucker. Yeah, I see what you're going to do, and then I'm going to fuck it up.
Should have been something.
Do you think he goes
funnier.
to hell when he dies?
Ooh, does Weirbeast go to hell?
What if right before Lawrence Fishburne blows that up, if Werebeast goes, Jesus Christ,
if he means it, then yeah, he'd go to heaven. Unless
I don't know if you have to mean it per se.
No, you can't just.
Oh, come on! You have to. If you can't, come on. If there's a God that you could just say that he can't tell whether or not you mean it, that's no God.
But you have to actually accept Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior. You can't. If you don't really accept it, he'll know.
Right?
But he doesn't know about the like getting fucked in the ass and still being a virgin thing or any of those fun loopholes.
Yeah.
He doesn't know about those.
All those workarounds. That's right. That's right. My husband has to break my hymen on my wedding night.
You inject some stem cells in your coos and you regrow it.
Yeah.
There you go. New hymen.
It looks like the viscera on the side of the ship.
Yeah.
Wow. Can we invest in that? New hymens?
Minus the stem cells, Tim, that's already a thing.
Can you imagine how many religious people we can sell that shit to? Come on. That'd be the one thing that the science they would accept.
Hymen reconstruction surgery? Yes.
What?
How expensive is that?
What? How?
It's about $3,500.
No, forget it. Candice, if you can afford to do it, you got the money. You don't have to.
It's about $3,500. I looked into it.
How do you build a cherry?
For your brown cherry? See if you can rebuild that.
I just go to a doctor. I'm like, doctor, can you give me back my hymen?
Can you give me back my brown cherry, please?
Yeah. It's a chocolate covered cherry, but it's still a cherry. It's just as sweet, I promise.
Ew.
He's got to
get past that first initial sting. No, so anyhow, the portal starts activating. Miller hits the bomb plunger on the damn remote, and the whole thing blows up, and you see the fire in outer space and how beautiful it is. It's these rings of CGI.
And what sounds it makes, yeah.
The event horizon drifts apart from the rescue vessel that they're left in. You see a bunch of Ghostbusters quality lightning hitting the event horizon as it goes into a wormhole. And then Cooper and Stark made it out, man. Oh, and Justin, but he's in stasis.
Yeah, two people to make it out of this movie.
Yeah, it was.
You know what?
That's true. Does he still have the darkness inside him?
Fucked up already,
fair.
right?
He has been in a hell dimension.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, let's jettison him. We got to get rid of him.
Yeah.
He wanted to be out there anyway. Yeah.
Hey, look, that was his wishes, right? It's out of space law, right? We're in international space. We can have two
peacefully for me, not for him. He's going to suffer, but for me, it's pretty peaceful. Now, so then 72 days later, very specific. Yeah. A rescue ship finds them. They let Stark out. And she climbs up. She's like, oh, God, you're never going to believe it. There was this Sam Neill guy with his face all carved up. It was crazy. The guy lifts up his helmet. It's Sam Neill with his face all carved up.
And it was awkward after that. There was a lot of not looking at each other.
Oh, well, I meant the other guy. Yes.
The other Sam Neill. Yeah. Obviously I meant Vince Neil is what I meant, not Sam. It was Vince Neil in there.
He took his helmet off, and
then he ran him over. No, so then she wakes up. Never mind, it was fine. It was just a dream. They're all safe. The reminder, hey, you're okay. Don't worry about it. The aperture door closes around them, and that's it. That's the end of the movie.
Some kind of high note. I mean, they're clearly emotionally and mentally fucked.
Oh, yeah.
But they're alive.
Tim would say they probably should have just died on the ship.
For real, the way this movie should end with everybody dying, right?
Yeah.
But you can't take the chance to
be fair, you're right. You can't bring that back. This is some The Thing territory where, you know what? You just gotta kill everybody.
No, actually, you know what you should do? Right now, you should get back into Earth orbit and you should tell all the world's government, how much you're threatening not to land.
Look, bitch, either I'm going to land or you're going to put me up in some pussy-getting resort on the moon.
That's right. I'm king of the moon, motherfuckers.
Just go to Mars.
Lord, no, like,
listen,
you.
Just
Watch
go to Mars. It's just a bunch of
assholes
mining commercially and whores, so.
With 3 breasts.
Oh, yeah.
I'm king of Mars.
That would be, if it's just a bunch of Martian equivalent of coal miners and whores, then it's basically a land without law or morals. So
yeah,
you could bring Hell Dimension there. Hell Dimension would be fine there.
The fuck?
Have a great time. So I had a great time with this movie. I'm so glad we covered it. Of course, go watch it. Goddamn.
Is there any other movie that we've talked about?
There's a few of them. I'd have to sit down and try to think, but there's certainly a few of them.
I know I'd want to do Warlock.
Yeah, that's
times.
One of them.
No, hold on. I'm sorry, but let's be fucked up and let's break it down to brass tacks.
Until you get the official announcement.
Yeah.
And then we'll do Warlock.
We'll do a double feater of.
Sorry, that's
we got to do some sort of a fitting double feature with it. You know,
Waxwork.
Waxwork, yeah, that'd be good. That was a fun movie too. I like the vampire dinner scene in Waxwork.
Yeah, that's definitely the best scene in the movie.
Yeah. So all right, yeah. I guess that's it for this episode. Then we've covered Event Horizon to death. Of course, we all say to go watch it. And back, yeah. Hell and back, you might say. So, Tim, I'll go to you first, buddy. Is there anything you think people should pay attention to on the internet?
Like I always say at this point, because I can't remember anything else I'm going to be on, is pay attention to our podcast and our Patreon, because how many movies do we have in the blood bank?
Boy, we are...
And you can do requests.
Don't request Top Gun Maverick. So even
if we don't have it, you can request
or do.
No, don't.
No. Enough. If anybody else Candice requests it, it'll be in. But can you block somebody individually on the Plex from watching?
We have over 5,500 movies right now. Yeah, we're almost
Netflix,
double
suck my
Netflix, so
dicks.
kiss my ass. Oh, yeah.
And you want to watch these movies?
No.
Stupid fucking Sandra
No,
Bullock
we got
movies,
Blast
right? With
Fighters.
fucking Tatum O'Neal.
I don't know. It's a lost O'Neal child.
Tim, we've got Blast Fighter from 1984. Former.
We got Michael Sopke.
Oh,
Yep. We've got what else have we got here? Yeah. We've got Delta Force 2.
Oh wait, is that the one? Oh wait, hold on.
Yep.
Delta Force 2. Oh yeah, that's the one I want to do on the grind bit because this is how crazy that motherfucker is. With I just talked to the president and he said we can nuke the motherfuckers. Yeah. The best ones. Yeah. Fuck that fifth one.
Not great. Shanghai Noon. You can watch Shanghai Noon. That's a bad movie.
Yeah.
Owen Wilson, Jackie Chan.
So many movies. How, like, for real, let's figure it out. If you watch all the movies that were on the Plex for joining our Patreon, how many hours would it take you to
I have no idea. Let's say each movie's an hour and a half, 90 minutes, right? That's a good average.
Yeah. From A to C,
right? And it's 5,500, so 5,500 hours plus half of that over again, so 2,750 on top of it, so almost 8,000 hours worth of movies.
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
That's a lot of fucking. That's the rest of your life, Candice.
No, I have no idea.
Can you Rain Man that? How many days that is?
Candice, you couldn't watch that with the rest of your life.
Yeah. Too bad Barry is not in the blood bank. What does
that mean about me?
I have no idea if it is or not.
Here's a good one. If you have blood bank access, go watch this one tonight. It's called Slaughterhouse Slumber Party. Fantastic. Just like 6 broads in it, and they are at least topless the entire movie. Bottomless, Tim.
At least. Ooh, damn. Are we talking about the old-fashioned bottomless where you can still see the
either or. They're in some stage of that undress. You can also go watch Don't Fuck in the Woods, too.
Oh, Don't Fuck in the Woods. That had you in the first movie, right? Wasn't there some guy who looked like you or something like that?
No. Oh my God, that son of a bitch, Jordan. Fucking son of a.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, the guy that sounded like me on. Oh yeah, Brian Posehn. Son of a bitch. That's perfect.
That was so good, man. For real. You know what? Hats off, because I don't know if that's just like fucking improv fucking training for his whole life. It's just natural talent.
You nailed it.
But he fucking
what about you, Candice? What do you want people to pay attention to on the internet?
Oh, just this. Or follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HorrorHoochie69.
Follow Tim, too, at Yobo Gold. Follow me at Eddie the Axe.
Yeah, I always forget that. Yeah, please. I need more
followers. Or at
Bloody
Bits on Twitter. I occasionally use. And if you want to get access to the Blood Bank or our bonus episodes, just go to patreon.com/BloodyBits, where for $10 a month, you get all of that.
And you know what? I'm going to say this right now. We're doing Pitch Black as a bonus episode. So join.
We need to do.
Yes.
Let's do Cocaine Bear.
Candice, are you in? Eddie, it's up to you whether or not you want to be there. Me and Candice already proved high-minded.
You know what? Go for it. No, we got to do, Candice, you got to watch Cocaine Bear. We got to cover that. That'll be fun.
Okay. I don't know.
Too many people are probably talking about it now.
You can't find an hour and a half by yourself.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a good chunk of day to go see a movie.
Oh, damn.
In the middle of nowhere. I keep telling you this.
That's okay. We'll figure it out. But stay tuned, because we've got March Badness coming up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to find the worst movies in the blood bank. I've already got... Okay. Oh, you know what? That's a good idea.
The worst ones that we can find?
We each pick one. Hold on here. How many episodes are going to be next month? Is it one of those weird months where there's only 3 fucking Tuesdays? So we got
March, right?
2, 3, 4. 4 episodes in March. So okay, one
except
each.
The first week is
That's fair. Okay, so one each.
So you know what? Listen.
No,
whoever gives us a 5-star review on iTunes, we will put them in a pool.
There's not going to be a fourth,
because
Candice picked the 4th already. It's The Descent.
Yep. No one's override.
Yeah, we'll override Candice.
Okay?
That's a good.
Come on. For iTunes reviews, Candice?
Come on, take it to the team.
Okay. So yeah, stay tuned for.
All right, I'll take one for the team. I'll give it my pick for whoever wants to give us a 5-star review on iTunes. They get to pick the fourth movie, which will be my
that's
pick.
true. Tim, you don't get
picked. I don't get picked.
So Candice, you want to tease our next episode? Speaking of which,
oh yes. So I'm bringing up Plus One.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very new writer, and I think he's up and coming. And I wanted to plug his stuff because I was so impressed by it. I sent him a personal message.
And
I read a lot, and I don't always do that. But this book that I read, when I reviewed it, I said that it does for rock climbing what The Descent does for cave diving.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Oh, wow, that's right. Because I remember seeing that. That's fucking
it's
serious
really
ass
fucking
praise
good
from Candice.
And
the movie's The Descent.
Yeah, the movie's The Descent. And so I was like, well, why don't you come on this episode? Because he has his own podcast and I've listened to it. I vetted him to make sure that he was any good. I don't know. I told him.
Vetted us.
I told him pencil in 3 hours, and we're very raunchy. That's what I told him.
That's fair. It's like a 3-hour fucking old Judd Apatow comedy.
Yeah. So next week is my number 2 favorite horror movie of all time, Neil Marshall's The Descent.
Yeah. And next month, I got to tease it. We have an Emmy Award winner going to be on the show next month.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I looked him up. And he went to
Hampton
Princeton. That was his university. I was like, ooh, I hope I can correct him on something. That'd be awesome.
Stay tuned for that, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, folks.
That's right. If you're going to be on our show, you have to sign a disclaimer. You're willing to be actually at least once.
Exactly. Yeah. And with that, folks, this is how we end it. Good night.